It was said like Terrence Howard did. Candyman, 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 Candyman. I want to say it like Coleman Domingo does in that movie. Anyone ever tell you about Candyman? No. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now, chat, we're going to be moving on to Class in a Glass Cast. Foyo asks a little bit of sass where I read my very generous patrons' Patreon questions, chat. It's the least I can do. And I'm going to start in the order of which I have received them. We got quite a few this week, which I'm happy about. It'll be good. It'll be good. And we're going to be starting with Vanny. Vanis Fias, chat. Thank you, Vanny, for being a Juicy Gangster subscriber. And his question, chat, he has themes. He has themes, which I appreciate. Since we brought it up during last week's Discord discourse, let's talk about the game that started my Final Fantasy journey. Let's talk about Final Fantasy IV. Great Final Fantasy game. Movie question. Final Fantasy IV's story will have a very special place in my heart as it taught me that gaming stories can be more than just save the princess from a giant lizard. That being said, the game does have a lot of fake outs of characters dying, quote unquote, but then popping up later in the story with the true villain emerging at the last minute. It does have that. In films, we've seen more than our fair share of fake outs. For example, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the audience thinks Marion is dead in a truck explosion, but it turned out she was in a different one and survived. Rise of Skywalker tried to fake out with having the audience think Chewie died by Rey's force lightning, but then found out that he was in another shuttle. Finally, Wonder Woman, we found out that the only friendly guy Dana talked to was actually Ares. Which is your least favorite fake out in film? You know, there was several. Cause I think of like, cause you had a lot of great ones. Even movies I liked, like in Raiders, I'm like, why did they fucking just pretend that she was dead? But that was the truck. It was weird. It's a weird scene in Raiders. Probably the weakest scene in that movie, even though I love it. But there were two that stood out to me, I guess, last decade. And the one which, again, it's a movie. I don't even hate this movie, but it makes some serious mistakes. They made some serious mistakes in the marketing for this film. And it's Star Trek Into Darkness, chat, which is the second J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie. And it's the one where, you know, it's like, oh no, Benedict Cumberbatch is not Khan. Nope, not Khan at all. Okay, he's Khan. You know, like, there's already that fake out, which is like, fucking Jesus. I know. Okay, we get it. He's like, he's not Jonathan Smith, which was what the movie was telling you for the last hour. It's like, I'm, in fact, Khan. It's like, God damn it. It's like, God damn it. All right, all right. I wish you just would have said he was in the beginning. Like, why keep it a secret? It was the worst kept secret. Well, one of the many worst kept secrets. But there's another fake out in that movie that really bothers me, and it's the one where they do the reverse of the famous death, you know, in Wrath of Khan, chat, where Spock sacrifices himself to save the crew of the Enterprise. Instead, this time it's Kirk who sacrifices himself to save the crew of the Enterprise, and they do the speech, and it's like, this is again, I don't know. Maybe it's hubris, maybe it's arrogance, maybe it's ignorance. But if I was directing a Star Trek movie, I would never make the attempt to recreate a beloved scene from one of the, you know, arguably best movies of the franchise, chat. One of the best moments within the franchise itself. Like, why would you do that? Why? And it's like, I know that everyone knows that scene. If you're not a Trek fan, it's like, oh, of course you know about when Spock died and Kirk was so sad. But I ain't gonna fucking touch it. And then but this time we're just gonna reverse it. And Kirk doesn't die because Bones finds magic super blood inside of a tribble, and it's Khan's super blood, and uses the blood to bring back Kirk from death because death doesn't matter. And it's like, what? And it was like that fake out. It's like, at least in the Star Trek, the original movies, there was a whole other movie before they got Spock back. They have to at least do that. They have to find him again, chat. And then the Genesis machine happened. It's like they didn't bring him back into the movie. It's like a cheat. It's like such a cheat. So that whole fake out with Kirk, along with the whole Khan thing, obviously, that's pretty obnoxious, and it's just like, oh, give me a break. Didn't care for that. I don't even hate the movie, but it's just like, no. No, did not work for me at all. Bat Boy and the Two Towers, when they really want you to believe they would kill off Aragorn. That's a good one. He won those biggest face in the movie poster. Not bad, Bat Boy, not bad. And I love that movie, but you're right. It's like, oh my god. They made Khan white. The Audacity. That's right. Well, isn't he Khan? Like Khan, what's it called? Khan Singh? Like he's supposed to be Indian. Even Ricardo Montalban, he wasn't Indian. They even think he was Spanish. You're asking for a dagger. Yeah, exactly. It's just weird. The cure death is never run up again. Yeah. They're just like, all right, never mind. Forget the super blood thing. Yeah, big mistake. Another one, because it's such an obvious fake. I was like, oh, give me a break. Where it's in Alien Covenant, and you know what's coming even beforehand. It's like, oh, come on. Where they have Michael Fassbender play two different characters, and he plays Dave and he plays Walter, and they're two androids, but they look exactly the same. And it's like, well, at one point in the movie, David's gonna pretend to be Walter because that's how this is gonna happen. And there's a point in the film when they're fighting each other, when they're trying to escape from the new xenomorph or protomorph, whatever the fuck they call it now. And it seemingly Walter defeats David, and it's like, give me a break. It's like, come on. And it leads to this big thing at the end where you have what's her name, Catherine Waterston's character, where she's basically trying to be Ripley. That's not her fault. Just that's obviously what she's being told to do. And she mentions something, and Walter doesn't remember. She's like, "Oh God, David." He's like, "Shh." It's like, "Of course, I know, trying to fake me out." It's like, yeah, we knew that would happen. So that one's just lazy. I mean, as soon as he's on screen, it's like, I've been in the trailers. I think I remember watching trailers. Like, this is what's gonna happen. And if it's that predictable, then I'm like, come on. That was a little rough. That was a little rough for me. So I didn't care. Those are the two big fake outs I just don't like. Ray Skywalker fake out, Ray's actor. Yeah. This isn't a worst fake out, but one fake out that I actually really liked was Nick Fury's death. I like that one. That one I like because I'm like, oh, I think they fucking killed him. That fake out death, I was like, okay. I legitimately thought he was dead. I was like, wow. And I was surprised when it happened. I was like, oh, shit. But it makes sense because he would do something like he'd go off the grid. Chat. So that's a big one for me. Because here's a big example for me is Transformers 3. They put the Transformers in a rocket to launch them off Earth an hour and a half before the movie ends. The rocket blows up. And then 10 minutes later, they find out they were never on the rocket. Oh, there you go. It's like, God damn it, what's the point? This is unnecessary screen time. You could shorten the movie. Yeah. Those are the two big ones for me, and there's plenty. I mean, you guys brought up some great examples right now, or even some good ones. You even brought up there are some good fake outs. There absolutely are, but then the bad ones they do tend to stick out like a sore thumb, if you will, chat. But good question. I'm getting notes. Getting text messages. Apologies, chat, from Corey and Martin. But now we'll move on to Vanny's. Oh, yeah, Mandarin stuff in my mind. Yeah, I agree. That's good. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Didn't even think about that. But now we have a TV show question from Vanispheres. Final Fantasy IV's Kane Highwind was the stoic, quiet hero, sometimes villain, who spends a lot of the game brooding in a corner while listening to My Chemical Romance albums. TV shows have given us characters like Angel, Billy Butcher, and Oliver Queen / Arrow. With a lot of the same. Why do they just call him Green Arrow? He's like, I'm called the Arrow. We call you the Green Arrow if you want. With a lot of the same personality traits. Who is your favorite brooding character in all of TV-dom? I also just think of 10 days. One bad fake goes Hopper's death, Stranger Things finale. Even I know. I like that episode too, and even I got emotional. But I'm like, he's not dead because he didn't show a body. Yeah, that's true. But there are several brooding, kind of stoic characters, chat, that I really like. One is definitely Jonathan Banks's Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He's the curmudgeonly old man who works for Gus Fring in both shows, and he's competent. He knows what he does, but you can tell that he's seen some shit. He's been through some shit. Like the only time you ever really see him lighten up or like put down his guard is like when he's with his granddaughter or his daughter-in-law, or maybe even Jesse in the original series in Breaking Bad. But for the most part, that's always up. He's super stoic. He's always brooding. He just has that perfect just sitting like, Are you fucking kidding me face? I love that with Mike. He's definitely one of my favorite characters in both shows. And I think he's great. He's great at the brooding. He's an old man brooder, chat. And I don't mind that at all. He nails it. And another one, you know, even though, listen, the show did not end well, but I still think this actor did a great job, and he was great at brooding. People commented on his brooding, and I thought Kit Harington's Jon Snow was great. I mean, you remember him sitting up on that goddamn wall looking miserable, thinking about his egret. Remember egret, chat? He's being all sad and shit because he couldn't have sex with her anymore because, you know, she got shot with an arrow because that little shitty kid, Oliver Twist, or whatever the hell his name was, shot her. And he see how sad he was. So, yeah, I think Jon Snow, he was very good at the brooding, chat. And I even love that even some characters commented on it. That was funny. Those are the two, because you mentioned some good ones. You mentioned some great ones, but those are the two that stick out in my... Oh, Geralt. Oh, shit. See, I didn't even add Geralt. That's a great one. Geralt of Riva, hell yeah. All he does is fucking brood, where he talks about how much he loves his horse, or how he loves Ciri. That's true. That's true. Good ones. Very good. Let's see what you guys are saying right now. Bet the Hopper character would have stayed dead if Hellboy was just, I don't know. No, man, there's too much money in that. Too much money, and no one wants to see him die. Also, I love Giancarlo in Far Cry 6, though, Moff Gideon. Oh, yeah, he also played Moff Gideon in Mandalorian. It's true. Mike was great. Egret. You know, Geralt's a great one. Batboy, Aizawa in My Hero Academia, the always frowning, never happy teacher who puts himself between his students and the attacking villains, even knowing he was outnumbered. Slayer, good night, Juicy, and everyone else. I have to be up at 4 hours. Oh no, get your sleep then, Slayer. No problem at all. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you liked the questions and the answers and all the good stuff. See you next time. Thank you. Daryl, Walking Dead 2. See. I imagine so. I haven't watched enough of the show because I fell off after season 3. It just wasn't for me. But yeah, I imagine that's a great answer. Mai from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, good one, Kazfe. Yep, she is very Zuko. You can even see Zuko. But Mai, she's like S tier. She's like S tier brooding. Zuko's like definitely A. He's high A tier. But, yeah, Mai and Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, really good at brooding, I would say. One of those new take on Boba Fett. Yeah, me too, man. I guess Boba Fett's brooder. He's kind of broody. He's kind of doing his thing, chat. Yeah, I like a nap. Nice yawn. See, Nia Brownie's good at the brooding, too. You got that frown while he wielding his crowd. Yeah, exactly. Look about, yeah, but not more money than a multi-film. Yeah, sure. 33 Lost. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of Walking Dead. I know it's super popular. A lot of people love it. You know, not for me. All Yaskier complains about is Geralt's brooding. It's true. No, Geralt of Rivia is great. And I like Henry Cavill in The Witcher. I just finished watching that, chat, and I liked it. It's a solid matinee show. I mean, it has some issues, and I think it has, narrative structure problems, but I do like Henry Cavill. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of him in a lot of projects, but he's very good in the show. And he's good as fucking brooding. Probably learned it from being Superman, because he's a very brooding Superman. Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I watched a little bit of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I'm not too familiar with it, but there you go. For The Walking Dead, Daryl is a brooder. There you go. Yeah, some good ones. I completely forgot about Geralt. That's a great one. I just watched the show recently. I'm thinking, like, a lot of anime, they have some people that are good at brooding. Piccolo, I think Piccolo in Dragon Ball. I guess Vegeta, he's good at brooding too. But Piccolo was like the OG brooder. He was really good at that. Like back in the day, chat, before you even knew about Vegeta and the other Saiyans, before you even knew fucking Goku was a Saiyan, chat, before he was a little monkey, he was just a little monkey boy. Like Piccolo was really good at brooding, just hanging out in wastelands, looking at shit, He was good at that. Raven from Teen Titans. Oh, yes, absolutely Deadpool. No question. That's a good one. Brooklyn in Gargoyles. I would say Goliath in Gargoyles. But I suppose Brooklyn. I think Goliath more so. I think Winter Soldier, definitely. Winter Soldier, Bucky, he's definitely a brooder. No question. Got to get Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters on list. Yeah, it'd be fun. MT from Infinity Train. What's another good one, Casper? Yeah, you've been watching Infinity Train recently. Yeah, MT. That's a good pick too. Mere Tulip. She doesn't want to be called Mere Tulip. MT or Lake. Darkness calls me. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Talking about our favorite brooders, people that brood and not like reproduce, but people that are good at brooding in TV shows. The Punisher, definitely. Across the board. No doubt about that. But in the TV show, John Bernthal. Goliath or Hudson. Oh, Hudson, yeah. Hudson just wants a chair, a beer, and his TV to be left the fuck alone. True. He's good at that. Yeah, I'd say Goliath. Goliath likes to stay in the library and be like, oh, I just want to have sex with Lisa. That's all he wants, Chad. Like her, like Goliath wants that, Lisa wants this. Like, just do it, you two, my lord. Making us wait. Making us goddamn wait, Chad. Daredevil. Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, all of them do. Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Oh, definitely Jessica Jones. She knows all about that brooding, chat. Anything Stallone is. Yeah, he's brooding. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely, Rambo. Definitely, like, original First Blood. Never any Chris. I mean, I brood occasionally. Occasionally. Not often. Not too often. Episode Gumball about that certain brooding teen character that can't ever escape Gumball or Darwin. I've seen some episodes of Gumball. It's a pretty funny show. I like it. Oh, no, I don't. Not as often as you think. But good question, yeah. But for me, yeah, I mean, I have to add Geralt to my list. But definitely Mike Ehrmantraut. I want to say he's good at that brooding, and Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. They're married in real life, by the way. That actress who played Ygritte, her and Jon Snow are married. Good for them, Chad. Good for them. Oh, video game wise, oh Jesus, so many. Kratos, most recently, yeah. Video game wise, I'd throw Master Chief definitely in this last game. He's super broken, hurt. Sanders the Reaper from oh yeah, oh I know, yep. They call him the Grim Reaper for a reason. Everyone keeps dying around him, Chad. True. He turns you over to sleep. Cloud. Oh my God, yeah, definitely. A lot of Final Fantasy protagonists, but especially Cloud. He's king at that shit. Yeah, Joel. Some good ones. Deacon St. John from Days Gone. See, I haven't played that, but I believe that. Havagon was a brooder. True. Very true. Nice one, Chad. Some good brooders. I like it. But now, we'll move on to the video game question, Chad. Final Fantasy IV had an absolutely iconic moment where Cecil sheds his Dark Knight armor and becomes a paladin. This transformation included new armor, profile pick, and access to white magic. It's a moment that has stuck with me, for over 30 years. What game moment has lived rent-free in your brain for years? I mean, so many. I mean, Mass Effect 2 has two big ones, of course. I've talked about this before, but the destruction, like the game opens, the destruction of Normandy, that ship, you're constantly on the first game. It's like, taken away from you, and fucking Presley's he's getting blasted back. He's dead, chat. Meat, just burning meat everywhere. Got to rescue crew members. Got to make sure your love interest gets off board because she's having a baby. It's like, it's a lot of chaos. I love that. And you die. You're Commander Shepard. Your bro Shep, your fem Shep, he or she dies. It's like, oh my God. So that and the suicide mission, just the suicide mission in general. I don't think I've ever been more nervous playing a video game before. Like I could literally remember my heartbeat. It's like, are all my crewmates going to survive? And they did, but I was like, I don't know. That was a big one, chat. Those two, Destruction of the Normandy, Mass Effect 2, the suicide mission in Mass Effect 2. Other ones that have just kind of burned in my brain is the death of Lee Everett in The Walking Dead, the first season, chat, where I love that conversation where you've been bitten, and the last thing that you got to do is to make sure Clementine is okay, that she's protected, you get away from that fucking psychopath that's been tailing you for weeks, or if not months, and your last thing that you do is just to protect her. You telling her, like, I remember, like, you can choose, like, the last piece of dialogue, and the last piece of dialogue, it sticks with me to this day, and I told her, don't be afraid. You can choose all sorts of things, and it's the only one that ever made sense to me. Like, there's all these options, or like, keep your hair short, or stay away from cities, but I like the option where it says, don't be afraid. And that's the last words you say to her before, in this case, I ask her to shoot me so I don't turn, and she shoots me. And I always, I ugly cried. I ugly cried when I played that game for the first time, chat. That was an amazing one. That one's burned into my brain. Another one, of course, I've talked about often, but it's the Darth Revan reveal in KOTOR, chat, where you play this character who gets these visions. You don't understand why you're getting these visions, but you're force sensitive, and you go on this epic quest to find this thing called the Starforge, which is this basically this massive device that's able to harness the energy of stars and turn it into raw material for a war engine, basically. Create ships and droids and weapons and things. And it's used by the Sith. It's used by Darth Revan, who, as far as your character knows, was killed a while ago. And then a big reveal happens in the middle, like pretty much in the halfway point of that game, where it's like, no. no. Or I guess the 2/3 of that game is like, no, Revan's not dead. You're Revan. It's like, what? And you can't believe it, Chad. And the Jedi, they completely destroyed your mind and rebuilt it so you could be used as a tool to find this thing. And your whole identity is thrown in the question, like, who are you? And I love that. That's, to me, that's one of the best twists in video games. And of course, I mean, there's some famous ones as well. But I mean, and I know you've heard this before, but it's like, would you kindly? It's like, it's incredible. Those moments. It's like, oh, that is so fucking clever. I loved it. I loved it. What about you guys? Oh, a couple other ones. I mean, I love the death of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like recent games. I thought that was a beautiful and sad moment. I love that. And like the final ride, I thought that was beautiful when you're going to warn the people that you still love and care about what's actually going down. I think that was amazing. That was so cool. Did I react to I did not react to the new Peacemaker trailer, but I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. What about the rest of you guys? Those are some of the ones that are just kind of burned into my brain recently. Love those. Love those. Final Fantasy VI opera scene. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Very good one, Vanny. Final Fantasy VI, one of my answers to another question coming up soon. Deadpool for me, it's the I'm afraid scene in Red Dead Redemption 2. What you talking to? I guess it could be different things. But if you're talking to the nun, that's great, because that's the one that I got. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Just like gaming moments that kind of live rent-free in your brain, that are just burned and blazoned into your brain forever. Just some things that just stick out, like, you know, emotionally, or in terms of like, oh, this is so cool. I can't believe what I'm seeing or experiencing. Oh, Doki Doki. Yeah, in the worst way possible. That's a good one, no-name woman. Doki Doki Literature Club has a moment where it's like, all right, this is what the game is. It's like, oh, and it's a scene. Something happens. Oh, the opening of Uncharted 2. That is a fantastic one. Yes, on the train, it's like, whoa. That's when they really, because like, first Uncharted is great, but it's definitely dated at this point. But I love Uncharted 2. They really changed up the environments, and that one is it's like a nice cold opening to like a movie. You're under, like there's a train that's suspended in the air, and you have to crawl up it as it's starting to fall piece by piece. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful, chat. Metal Gear Solid 2, the tanker. Yep. Big shell intro. Very good. Yeah, it's a good one. Best part of the game, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot of them. When Ethan dies and you take over as Chris again and stomp your way through. Oh, Village, the most recent one. Yeah. Maybe on Spec Ops: The Line, so amazing. That's going. It's great watching other people react to it after playing the game. Yeah, I gotta play that on stream. That's a rough game. That's a rough game, but it's going. As soon as I mentioned Enemy 2, had stuck with me. There you go, Dark Slayer. Most recently, when Apollo was sabotaged by that asshole Ted Faro in Zero Dawn, all just so he wouldn't be seen as humanity's genocidal killer. Yeah, there's some great ones. Mr. Yasmin, mine is a scene from Final Fantasy VII, but don't want to spoil it for people who are playing the remake. Gotcha. Oh, I probably know what you're talking about. And Spider-Man PS4. Yeah, no, there's some that scene. I think I know what you're talking about. That's a great one. Love it. Super Mario RPG, the first time I saw the giant sword fall into Bowser's castle. Remember playing Mario games. Love those RPG mechanics. Very fun. Very good. Yeah, I think we all have our gaming moment that just hit us, chat, whether it was emotionally or we just taken aback by the epicness of it. So many great examples. Very nice, Jeff. Very nice. The reveal in God of War PS4. Yeah, that reveal was cool. That whole ending part with Kratos and his son I thought was great. I love that, and what Atreus actually is I thought was great. We're going to learn more about that. Definitely. Reveal about his son. Know exactly what you're talking about. It's good. Very good. Oh, we're talking about moments in games that like had an impact on us, like kind of live that we always still think about, or like this is just like huge. Where it made us, emotional, or we were just kind of in awe of it. So we all were talking about several ones that we've experienced and enjoy. And now we have a Revan question, chat. It's the second to last question from Vanny. As I mentioned in the first question, Final Fantasy IV opened my mind to the idea that game stories can have some depth to it while taking major themes of love, redemption, and identity. What was the title that made you realize that gaming can be art? It's, I hate to sound like a broken record. I think I always looked at video games as art. I was never like one of those guys like, oh, this isn't art. Like, like Roger Ebert famously said, like, games aren't art. It's like, of course it is. amount of artistry that goes into them, the hard work that goes into them, the programming that goes into them, the writing that goes into them. You may not like it. You may not like how it looks, but art is subjective. That's what all art is. You cannot like certain art, pieces of art, and that's fine. But you can't discount it as not art. I think I always considered video game art. But I mean, the ones that made me really appreciate the medium. I mean, as I said before, that really opened my eyes to it was initially Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. I became so attached to that game. And, that was when my love of Star Wars at its height, if you will, especially when expanded universe materials and things. And I love KOTOR. I thought it was so imaginative and fun, and it wasn't tied to any of the original Star Wars stuff. So it was its own thing, and this little microcosm, 4,000 years separated. So that was cool. And again, Mass Effect, yeah. Mass Effect, again, as I say, it had such an emotional impact on me. Mass Effect 1 and 2, I mean, the trilogy overall, I love that. Really, it made me care for those characters. That was the thing. When I think about Mass Effect, the characters always come to mind first. And I loved how, the last DLC for 3 was just about these people, about you, the relationships you have with them, you hanging out with them, and you spending one last moment with them before, the final mission. I love that. And so Mass Effect was definitely one of those games, one of those franchises that has always made me really appreciate the medium and how it made me feel. I appreciate how it made me feel so much. So, yeah, definitely Mass Effect. But even the earliest days, even the N64, even when I was a child, I already knew, yeah, this is art. Totally. I feel like I always have. I was never one of those people this isn't art. But when I truly started to appreciate, I would say, was during KOTOR and Mass Effect for me. Well, the rest of you guys, let me get the list. Oh, even the Vault and Fall of Dude, there's that one, definitely. That was a huge one. It's opening up. That's a good one. You want to hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thank you for stopping the stream. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for donating to Extra Life for the kids. For the kids. And anyone else who's donating tonight to Extra Life, thank you so much. If you have, please, 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 please give yourself a shout out. I want to shout you out. Darcy, I've always seen video games as art. Not everything will be top tier. Sure, but there's stories that are told in games that will never be told the same way as movies. That's true. That's true. It can be very personal for video games. Dom's Death from Gears 3. When I lost teammates Mass Effect 2, I got a list. Yeah, so many. Yeah. Mr. Yasmin, mine is seen from Final Fantasy 7. I won't say what it is because, gotcha. It wasn't good the first part, maybe I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I get you. Bat Boy, a great artistic game is Flower. It's literally a game where you control flower petals floating through a seemingly lifeless world, trying to bring life back. It's a beautiful catharsis to see the different colors when you complete each level. That's a good one, Bat Boy. Very nice. Very nice. Spec Ops The Line is a good example of video games as art. It can only work as a game. It couldn't work as any other medium. Devin, the Jack series made me love ongoing game stories and characters, from Jak and Daxter to Jak X Combat Racing. Yeah, I imagine the PS2, Xbox, the original Xbox era was very informative for people growing up. And that's what established his love for all those, those franchises, especially the platformer franchises like Sly and, like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. So totally see that. Yeah. Good ones, Jack. Good ones. And now I believe this is Vanny's last one. Just good one. Very good one, Vanny. Voice acting question. Final Fantasy IV was made for the DS, which included a lot of voice. I never played this one. It was absolutely amazing to finally hear some of my favorite Final Fantasy characters speak. What older gen game do you think would benefit with a remake that includes some high quality voice acting? One that chat, obviously they have to redo all the Mario games so we can get Chris Pratt. We can get his voice so people get acclimated, because that's the future, chat. Chris Pratt is Mario, all right? Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Charlie Day is Luigi. And they need to revoice all those games. Get rid of the original voice actors. Let's get Chris Pratt and co. in there, all right? That's what I want you. I want to hear Donkey Kong laugh like Seth Rogen. That's what we all need right now. But to be serious, if you will. I mean, I don't know if it's rumored or if it's already hinted at, but I think it's rumored right now that a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake is in production, so you would expect they're redoing the lines. But yes, I would absolutely love Metal Gear Solid remake. Bring back David Hayter and stuff, of course. But definitely, re-record all those lines and change up the dialogue. I mean, you update the dialogue, obviously. So, Metal Gear Solid 1 remake, please give that to me. I think that would be awesome. Back when the franchise wasn't so fucking bonkers. let's give simplicity, a little bit of simplicity. So that's a big one for me. Dino Crisis, chat. Let's get Dino Crisis. Let's get Resident Evil dinosaurs in here. Let's have a fun time. Let's be very tongue-in-cheek. We're fucking dodging velociraptors and fighting the T-Rex, okay? Nice little survival horror action experience, and have a character that's going like, what the fuck is going on? I'm fighting dinosaurs. Like, have that. I think that the memes and social truth. I love that in Japan. Like, memes are different. They have greater importance, except in the, like, in the U.S., like, what, memes are jokey. But nah, Metal Gear Solid takes memes very seriously, which I always find very funny. But Dino Crisis, let's do that. Let's get that tongue-in-cheek survival horror action game, fighting dinosaurs. Let's get the dialogue in there. That'll be fun. KOTOR remake, which we know we're getting, chat, which they are redoing all those lines. Can't wait for that. Very, very excited. I mean, they're obviously bringing back some of the original voice actors. We have Jennifer Hale, I forgot her name. One of my favorite voice actors of all time. Jennifer Hale's coming back to voice Bastila. Bastila Shawn, that is. And, might even bring back some. I mean, HK-47's voice actor, I believe, is coming back. So, yes, can't wait for that. I think Revan will most likely. Male Revan and female Revan will get voice actors. So, that I am so fucking excited about. Can't wait, chat, to hear Revan have a voice. I would love if they did, a remake of the first Silent Hill. I don't know what's happening with that franchise. It's rumored. Are they doing a game? Are they not doing a game? Well, it's like, let's just do a remake of the first game then. So, let's get a new voice actor for Harry. Let's do that. Give us something, chat. I want spoopy survival horror shenanigans in Silent Hill again. It's been too goddamn long. Resident Evil had to create a Silent Hill section, the most recent Resident Evil game, to give us any Silent Hill. It's like other franchises are doing Silent Hill. Konami, stop putzing around. Give us a Silent Hill game. Christ. And let's just do a remake. Just do a remake of the original one. Let's start simple. Let's lay down a foundation. Let's do that. Let's get a Harry in the game back. I'm fine with that. Another one that would be cool. I would love to, if KOTOR is a success, I don't know if they would ever do this, but BioWare made a RPG called Jade Empire in the mid-2000s, I want to say. This was after KOTOR. And I think this was their next game after KOTOR because Obsidian had made KOTOR 2. And it was influenced by East Asian cultures, China, Japan, Korea's. Various Southeast Asian islands, and I really liked it at the time, but, they're going to need to update that. They're going to need to update the dialogue. I think it would be cool if maybe they took a note from something like Ghost of Tsushima, where they actually get Asians to voice these characters, or Asian voice actors. I think that'd be fun. And you can do a Kung Fu, imagine, a Kung Fu RPG. Kung Fu Mysticism RPG. So that would be huge for me. I would love it if we get a Jade Empire remake. And that one needs it. That one definitely needs a remake. It's kind of underrated RPG from the mid-2000s. I think it'd be really cool. And it could be not just, another drag, because I know BioWare's like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. Let's get Jade Empire in there. I think that'd be fun. CRS, thank you for the Wonder Biddies. Happy New Year to you as well. Nothing but success, love, and everything above for all. I'm right there with you, CRS. Thank you so much. A pleasure to have you here. Cheers and salute to you. And thank you for your generosity. Been having fun just doing extra live stream for the kids and doing Class in a Glass cast, answering people's questions. But what about you guys? What do you? And my last one. I'm sorry, my last one. Final Fantasy VI. I don't know if they'll. I mean, they did Final Fantasy IV for the DS, but I would love it if they did a Final Fantasy VI in the style remake. That is in the style of Final Fantasy VII remake. Obviously, they're gonna take a lot of liberties. There's no doubt. Making that game 3D. But I would be totally up for that. I want that so bad. I will play the original. I'll play the OG Final Fantasy VI someday, but I would love a remake in the style of 7. What about the rest of you guys? Your Master of Heavenly Sword for PC, PS4, and PS5 would be. I don't think I've ever played Heavenly Sword. And Dead Zone was canceled so soon. Wish Legacy be brought back. Would be bought and brought back. I'm not familiar with that. Bad Boy, Nintendo, give me a new Star Tropics, a Zelda-like game that came out in the last year of the classic NES. It's really Legend of Zelda. It took place in modern times on a tropical island. You want to see Nintendo do a modern remake of the game. That's interesting. Casey, I see a lot of Legacy of Kain requests. Legacy of Kain with its rich environments and story of fatalism and time in a dark world in which nothing is ever certain. There you go. Legend of Dragoon. Remaster with great voice acting. Memes. The memes. Very nice. So yeah, Chad, a few right there. All the Mario games revoiced by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day and Seth Rogen, all them. Metal Gear Solid remake with new voice acting. Dino Crisis remake with new voice acting. KOTOR, which we know what's happening. That's done. Silent Hill. Let's just get a remake of the first one at this point. Fuck it. Let's just do that. Jade Empire, I think would be cool. And Final Fantasy VI is what I need. Dark Watch needs a remix, says RD. Heavenly Sword was actually voice directed. I remember this now. Heavenly Sword was one of Ninja Theory's games. I know what you're talking about. Because I think after Heavenly Sword, they did Enslaved Odyssey to the West. That was good. Let's get that game a goddamn sequel. They'll never do it. I like that. Or just make a fucking remake at this point. No, they probably won't make any money. But I love that game, Chad. I sing its praises. I sing its goddamn praises, Chad. Devin, no, Final Fantasy 8 remained in the Final Fantasy 7. I'm just not an 8 fan. But I know people like it. Not for me. Not for me, though. But thank you, Vanny Vanispheres, good sir. Thank you for being a Juicy Game subscriber. Thank you for recommending, or thank you for asking me these questions. Very fun. I like the variety of them. Really cool. I know, like, 1-8 fan. There you go. It's you. Is it you? Yeah, I'm just not. Squall. I don't like Squall. It's like if you thought Cloud was brooding, oh my God, Squall's like, absolutely not. Squall is like, no, Cloud doesn't know how to brood. I know how to brood. Yeah. I haven't played in a long time. Maybe I'll play it someday, but I remember not being a particularly big fan. 9's more 9. Can I get a 9 remake, please? Yes. Yes. That's what I want. 2 is the worst, followed by 13, and then 8. There you go. 13 was bad. I was like, I don't need Lightning and her crew. Thank you very much. Right there with you. Osnick, thank you so much, sir, for being a subscriber to the Patreon. I'm going to read Osnick's questions, chat. My prediction for 2021 is that the fast food wars that are predicted in Demolition Man will begin this year. How do you see the fast food wars playing out? My bet is Arby's will die out first. Well, they have the meats, though. They do have the meats, and they give you the bubbly guts. So maybe. I don't think I've ever eaten at Arby's. I can't remember if I have. If I did, it was well over 10 years ago. Maybe even longer than that, chat. I do like their commercials. I do like their commercial guide. We have the meats. I think Wendy's is going to be the champion, the fast food wars, chat, because the Wendy's is sassy. Wendy's, I like how they operate on social media, and they're so sarcastic. They have that girl, she don't give a fuck. She will talk shit to anybody, chat. So Wendy's, I think, will come out on top. Burger King, pervy. The Sneak King, weird. I mean, I love them, but it's like we're gonna find something out about you. You're gonna be one of those peeping toms, like Sneak King. Why you be peeping? So I think Burger King's gonna lose out. Chat. McDonald's, Ronald, we all know, is a fucking freak. I think that's gonna be destroyed. No problem. I think Wendy's. I think it's gonna be fucking Wendy's. Chat. I think she's gonna pull it off. She seems pretty confident. People seem to like her food. I've heard people like, when it comes to the fast food burgers, when it like international chains, McDonald's no, Burger King no, but Wendy's, I keep hearing good things. So I think Wendy's will take it'll be a surprise, but she'll win the fast food wars, chat. She'll be riding on a goddamn horse like a Valkyrie, that's screaming at the Sneak King, chat, stabbing right up his ass. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Used to be a Taco Bell diehard, but they've dropped on quality big time. Culver's Hardy's the first to go, then Crystal's White. Oh yeah, they're all going. They're all dying. They're all getting taken out. They're easy. They'll easily be destroyed. No question. I think it's gonna be. I think Wendy's. I have no loyalty to any fast food brand. Like mine would get to. I mean, I like the regional chains like Whataburger. I haven't had Whataburger in a long time though. But stuff like that. I would say that. I think we all love Wendy. She is a goddess. Yeah, but that would be kind of cool, chat. I mean, nice. In Illinois, we have Culver's. I heard of Culver's, but I've never had it. Never had it. Vanny says Culver's is solid. There you go. Yeah. I guess I liked their Jamocha shakes and curly fries. Yeah, they got them. And at the Arby's. Arby's doesn't deserve the hate. It's generally pretty solid with some horsey sauce. Ronald McDonald's fast food Pennywise. He comes back each gen. Yeah, that's right. But sometimes Dairy Queen. I get some good fries. See, I've only had Dairy Queen ice cream. I never had anything else from them. And I haven't been to a Dairy Queen in years. I think I was in high school last time I was in a Dairy Queen. And that was, God, nearly 15 years ago. Jesus. Been a long time. I've driven by them, Chad. I've driven by them. Yeah. But I don't see what modern day McDonald's commercials, ba 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 ba, I'm loving it. I haven't heard that in like years, so I have no idea if he's still in the commercials. Like, I just don't fucking know. I don't know. I thought like they got rid of him after the It movie. They're like, well, clowns are ruined now. We can't have Ron. Why would he even pick a clown? What does that have to do with anything? Golden Arches, what does that have to do with anything? Anyway, Wendy, she's my girl. She is the one. She is the goddess of the fast food wars. That's what I'm picking. Also, second question, without going to plot, and with John Watts doing Fantastic Four, who would you like to direct the next MCU Spider-Man? That's a great question, man. I was kind of, I didn't know. Honestly, some of my favorite directors right now who do sci-fi and horror, which John Watts came from, and he was probably best known, and kind of like indie action films or thrillers and stuff. Like, he was probably best known. John Watts probably best known for directing Clown and Cop Car. Clown, which is basically a body horror film where a guy puts on, funny enough, a clown suit and he becomes like a clown demon monster. And then you had Cop Car, which is this really cool thriller with Kevin Bacon. And then he obviously did Spider-Man films. When I think of, I don't know, it's a great question. So I was thinking of maybe someone who has a similar experience like John Watts, who's done maybe like sci-fi films or like horror movies. But they're very successful in their own right now. I don't even know if they would do this. And it'll be interesting to see how they would adapt their style to an MCU movie. So I want to see if you guys have any suggestions for this. It's a great question because, it's like, who's going to direct the next Spider-Man? I mean, John Watts kind of came out of nowhere. And I thought he's done a fantastic job with all three films, for me personally, chap. But I don't know, the two guys, and I'm always interested in what they got next, what their next big project is. Even if I don't love it, it's like I want to see what they have. I've liked most of their works at the very least, or maybe some of the more recent stuff, I should say. But Leigh Whannell, Chad, who recently if you don't know him, he's been a partner with James Wan for years. And is one of the co-creators of Saw franchise. But I like his directorial efforts a lot more. He did Upgrade, which is the better version of Venom. Love Upgrade. And most recently did the Invisible Man film, chat, from 2020, which I thought was great. It's one of my favorite adaptations of the original H.G. Wells novel, and I think is just an incredible film. Even better than I think the original, 33 Invisible Man with Claude Rains. So I loved his work, and my other boy, Mike Flanagan, chat, recently coming off the success of Midnight Mass, one of my favorite TV shows this year. He directed Dr. Sleep, chat. He's done a number of other great things too, Hush, and a number of other Stephen King projects, but I don't think they'd ever do it. But I'm like, hey, if they were picked for Spider-Man, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's do it. Maybe Peter becomes an alcoholic. I don't know. Mike Flanagan loves that. He loves to make his characters alcoholics. And Leigh Whannell, I imagine, he knows the sci-fi mumbo-jumbo. He'd make a better Venom movie. Leigh Whannell would make a great Venom movie if they eventually have Peter go up against Venom. It's like, there you go. Boom. So I don't know, Chad, but those are my two. Like, I really struggle to think about who should inherit the Spider-Man franchise at this point. Who would you guys want? Yeah. The original Ron McDonald design. I think I've seen it. They've been being pretty scared. Clowns in general. Old-timey clowns are horrifying. Jake Green has great steak fingers, always crispy, always juicy. Perfect amounts of salt and pepper in both breading and gravy. There you go. Man, Midnight is so good. I love Midnight Mass. I didn't mind the monologue. It's some slow pacing, but I was one of those guys. I'm all about the goddamn monologues. I love a Mike Flanagan monologue. Thank you very much. About alcoholism? Hell yeah. Give it to me. Yes, addiction? Yes. They did a Sing 2 commercial of all the different characters doing the McDonald's. Oh, they did? Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have cable anymore. I'm so glad I don't have cable. Oh. I left for a bit. What was the question? Who should be the next director to inherit the Spider-Man franchise? And I picked Leigh Whannell and Mike Flanagan, who are probably best known for their sci-fi and horror projects. John Watts came from a similar background, directing Cop Car and Clown. And I don't know, it was, I love, that's the thing, that's what I thought, because Mike Flanagan's characters are so broken. I mean, if you watch Dr. Sleep, Chad, it takes place 40 years after the events of The Shining, following Danny Torrance, and he's an alcoholic. He's a bum. And his life is just destroyed. He's so sad. He's broken. He's a broken man. Midnight Mass is about broken characters who live in this broken community where the only thing that really has kept them there is their faith. And you have a character that comes to their community and tries to reward them for their faith, but is blind faith the right thing? It's like that's what the show kind of examines, along with addiction. And I'm thinking, man, Mike Flanagan. When you think again, I'm not getting the spoilers for Spider-Man right now, but all I'll say is where we see Peter at the end of No Way Home. I'm like, well, Mike Flanagan might make sense to be the guy to inherit Peter Parker for where we see Peter at the end of that movie. And I'm like, that wouldn't be too bad. So I'm even more. I think that's why I gravitated towards like either of them. Mike Flanagan might be. I don't know if he'd ever do it. He seems to be very content in his personal projects right now. And he's got all of his projects with Netflix at this point. But I would really love to see what he would do with if you want sad, hey, all the people that want sad Peter Parker, Mike Flanagan will give that to you in spades. I think he might be a really cool choice to direct a Spider-Man movie. I don't know what villains they would even use for it. But I think he could. I think he'd knock out they might. Hey, Daredevil and Kingpin. I think that'd be cool. But I think Mike Flanagan would be my choice, chat. I know because I say Mike Flanagan for everything, but I like the guy's work. I think he's really talented. So that was like Mike Flanagan number 1, Lane Wendell number 2. What about you guys? For Spider-Man, or did I miss? Yes, for the new Spider-Man movies, if you will, the next Spider-Man film. Who would you like to direct it? I have one of the Russos take over Spider-Man. Ryan, I'd have one of the Russos take over Spider-Man. I could see that. The Russo brothers, yeah, they want to do a Spider-Man movie. That'd be fun. Ryan Johnson. RD, the guy who did the Kingsman Golden Circle, did great action scenes. Matthew Vaughn. And KC, Mike Flanagan for sure would make it depressing. He would make it. He would give everyone what they wanted. Like all you people that want Peter Parker to suffer. Peter. No good deed goes unpunished. You'll get that from him. So, and, based on what happens, I can see that. So that's my choice. Mike Flanagan is my choice. I'm glad we worked that out together, chat. Very good. I agree with me. Fantastic. But thank you, Austin, for the 2 questions. Appreciate that. Hope you like the answers, good sir. Hope you like the answers. Batboy, Guillermo del Toro would make Spider-Man into an actual horde. He would do the man spider. Horde, half man, half spider hybrid, but he'd still have a personality. Yeah. And then Gwen Stacy would fuck him. So say, Chris, what do you think about the rumor that Tobey might be coming back from her Spider-Man roles? William Dafoe wasn't the only one to ask for a bigger part in there. So we'll see. We shall see. I don't know. I wouldn't. We'll find out. I don't want to perpetually suffer Peter Parker. Yeah, but people love. I'm right there with you. I am right there. I'm right there with you. But people seem to like that, but based on where we see Peter at the end of this movie, it's like it makes sense that he would be. It makes sense for the next movie. I mean, maybe by the end of the film, he'll be like, I have some happiness. But it makes sense for this first film, this next film, and this new trilogy or whatever it's going to be. That again, I don't want to do any spoilers right now. I don't want to do any spoilers right now for Spider-Man: No Way Home. I will be most likely doing a spoiler review for the movie this upcoming week. But I will say that makes sense to see him at his absolute lowest point in the beginning of this new movie. Yeah, we'll see. Writers love to choose misery. They do. They love that. I think it's probably self-projection. My characters need to suffer as much as I do, if not more so. Yeah, but we relate to that. That's part of Spider-Man's life. It's part of Peter Parker's life. When Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses. And that is most assuredly the case in this new movie. But thank you again, Osnick, for submitting those questions. Thank you for subscribing to the Patreon. We'll now move on to M. Xavier. I started replaying Cyberpunk 2077. I'm really enjoying it this time around. CD Projekt Red's depiction of the future is interesting, fucked up, and scary. My question is, what do you think the future will look like? You could pick any time frame, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. I mean, we could think 100 years. I think cybernetics will become more commonplace. I mean, our culture is so social media driven. We're so driven to have immediate satisfaction, immediate gratification. And through the use of technology, we often get that or get close to it. So I think things are going to become more tech-based. We're going to start integrating with cybernetics, be able to connect our minds with our phone. But at the same time, prosthesis, I think, will be more accessible to people. They'll be cheaper. They won't be as expensive, which will be cool, which will help people in the long run. But, we might get that thing where we're just modifying our bodies. I think it will also cause greater damage to the environment as the population increases. And of course, there will be overpopulation, I believe. But yeah, I think cybernetics will play a larger role. Breathtaking! We'll all be breathtaking, chat. I think cybernetics will play a larger role in the future. And they'll find inexpensive ways to modify the human body. And I think there'll definitely be some good that comes out of them, but it'll also have us where our mind will be more focused on what's going online. That's what it's going to be, which is kind of scary. And we're going to pay attention to more superficial things, sadly. I think that's probably going to happen. Of course, there's a cool RPG story game I'd love for your opinion on. It's called Dead House Sonata, and you might like to check it out. NPCs will be a big thing for us and for our bodies to merge with machines in expensive ways. No, definitely. I think that's going to happen. And I'll go ahead and I'll add that to the Word doc, Casey. Thank you for sending my way. But I believe that's what's going to happen, Chad. But it's going to be a combination of good and bad. Like, I think that's going to be really cool for people who have lost limbs or people who weren't born with these things. You know, they'll be able to have those things now, and it won't be expensive. It won't be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It will be $1,000. You know, it'll be something like that. It'll be something where it's manageable, where a family could afford it, a person could afford it. You know, I think that'd be really cool. Carnegie66, good to see you. Hope you're doing very well. Pleasure to have you here. Just doing a bit of a charity stream right now, talking about, also doing Class and Glass Cast, doing a brief Q&A of the chat. We've raised so far, chat. Let me actually take a break. Thank you again, chat. We've raised $140 tonight. Really do appreciate that. Everyone who's donated, thank you. Last swig of coffee's for you, chat. May the wings of liberty, and it was a feather. You're shaking the pillows, heaven, as we speak. Cheers and salute. I think I'm going to upgrade to a little bit of an alcohol in a second, chat, but thank you so much. Creator of Blood Omen, the Legacy of Legacy of Cain people. Yeah, see, I've never played those games, but a lot of people swear by them. I think Black Mirror is a privacy. Oh, definitely. Some will use tech for good, others evil, some in between. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. That's how it is. Yeah, it's in development with indie, so cool. No, thank you. I got to add to the Word doc. Appreciate that. I'll check it out. But yeah, just again, I think cybernetics will become more commonplace. They'll be more inexpensive. They won't be so expensive where only super rich can afford them. I think people who just have a regular 9-to-5 job will be able to do that. You know, we'll see. And then chat. Question 2, are there any pieces of entertainment that you consider a classic that you wouldn't recommend people watching, playing, reading, etc.? An example for me is Dragon Ball Z. I love the show, but its influence is seen throughout most shonen anime. I wouldn't recommend people watching the series because of the amount of filler. Yeah, true. And I don't think it holds up as much as it did back when it first came out. You know, I mean, there's, yeah, of course. There's a ton of Power Rangers. You know, it's like, I have nostalgic feelings for Power Rangers. I could talk about Power Rangers because I remember, but it's like, yeah, I would never recommend anyone watch it. You know, like the movie or the originals. It's for children. It's a cheesy, superhero show. You know, it's meant for kids. It's meant for kids to buy action figures. That's what it is. Do I have nostalgic feelings for it? Do I like talking about it? Of course I do. But I could never seriously recommend anyone watch that. Unless we're going to watch it for like a laugh or something. If like, yeah, for a bad movie roast, you watch the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Turbo. Of course, that way. But no, seriously, like, no, you don't understand the story of Power Rangers. Like, no, I couldn't recommend that. I mean, that's the big one for me. The thing is, like, you also have comedies that are dated, but you know, where there's some comedies like, you know, they age out or they're subjective overall. But you know, there's also some stuff that's like, oh, they're too ignorant to know what they're actually saying. You know, but I couldn't think of anything in particular. But you know, there's stuff out there like that. But for me, mine was probably Power Rangers. Disney era, I guess. Because Disney owns it now. It's true. I wouldn't have recommended Mighty Ducks as it's for kids and campy 90s aesthetic. Wildcats cartoon as well. Cats have nostalgia for DBZ, but it's basically a bunch of dumb dudes fighting and trying to one-up each other until everyone dies. It's pretty much what it is. That's what Dragon Ball is for a long time. And it's like it's a new power level. It's a new form. This isn't even my final form. We know it's not your final form. And that's what Dragon Ball has become, you know. I mean, I still have nostalgic feelings for Dragon Ball, of course. Of course, I like talking about it. It's funny. But yeah, it's filled with so much filler. So much filler. So many people just powering up and then blasting and then powering up again. Yeah. Dragon Ball was good. The original Dragon Ball, they actually went on adventures and they changed it up. And there were stakes, too. Like, there's no really stakes. And then death means nothing in Dragon Ball now. They wish everyone fucking back all the time. So, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed Broly. Like, I enjoyed the most recent Dragon Ball movie that came out. I know they got another one where I guess they're fixing Gohan, thank God. But I like Dragon Ball Broly. That was fun. But I couldn't recommend. That's another one. I couldn't recommend anyone see Dragon Ball Broly unless they were a Dragon Ball fan. Like, I can't do that. They're probably not gonna get anything out of it because they know there's a lot of history in that movie. I mean, it's cool visually to see the fights and the animation, absolutely, but outside of that, like, I can't recommend anyone that. Those shows that have been going on for years and years and years and years, especially like an anime or a cartoon, they do a movie. It's like, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. I'm nostalgic for DBZ and the Batman animated series. That's a answer to one of my questions. Basically, all the early Bruce Timm versus D. Oh, me too, man. Me too. I'll be talking about that in a second. The evolution was so bad the creator came back because he didn't want that to be the ending to his legacy. Fair enough. It was bad, but because the Spectre Spider-Man is best. So Spectre Spider-Man is one of my answers to one of these questions. Oops, we exploded the Earth again. That's what they keep doing. The Earth has exploded so many times. It means nothing. I love Broly as well. It was a wonderful revamp of the character. No, exactly. And they did. They made some great improvements to it. And I liked the movie. I think I would give it like a matinee. It was fun. I reviewed it. I saw it with Dragon Ball fans. It was fun seeing them being so happy. But yeah, I couldn't recommend it. Like Power Rangers, I couldn't recommend anybody. Happens. Like one film, which I'm not even a fan of, but like there are some comedies that I feel like, yeah, this doesn't fly anymore. Like Revenge of the Nerds, where you have a whole scene where you have a woman who is in the dark and she thinks she's sleeping with someone, but it's just people going in and out of the room, and they're basically raping her, and it's like, oh my fucking God. And like, no. It's like, no, that is not appropriate whatsoever. So Revenge of the Nerds is, it's one of those classic comedies, but it's like, like I could never recommend that to anyone because of the shit they pull in that. They're literally raping people. Yeah. Faron, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing very well, Faron. Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a great New Year's Eve and are having a great New Year's Day. And Ray Death, very good to see him. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Most of the iconic sitcoms I grew up with. Oh, yeah. It's funny, when I was living with Corey for a period of time, when I was in between my apartments and moving into this one, we were watching, the show of Red Fox. Help me out here, chat. I forget the name of it. Grandma and my guy, hope you had a good New Year. It was a great New Year. New Year's Eve stream was amazing. People were so kind. We had a lot of fun shenanigans. And then, this one's been great. Just doing a charity stream, raising some money for Extra Life, Children's Hospital. It's been great so far. Sanford and Son, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot. I never watched the show. But they have a whole episode where the son character of Red Fox, like, he goes to a club, and it's a gay club, and basically Red Fox is freaking out. And he's like, I got to get my son to the doctor and all that. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then the son thinks the father is gay at one point, and he's like, my dad, he's losing it because he's gay. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, that's like, ooh. And you have the laugh track over, like, he's sick because he's gay. It's like, wow. It's like, ugh. Yeah, that stuff does not age well. It does not age well, chat. So that's a big one. So what happens? Thank you, Mr. Grinch. You really are a hero. Thank you, Caro Donnie. Caro Gani, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. This is doing a little bit of my Q&A session with the chat. Also doing a charity stream, raising money for the kids. For Extra Life, for Children's Hospitals. Hope you're doing well. Because I don't watch black TV shows. I mean, I didn't watch that one. That show was, listen, I don't watch many sitcoms from the 70s growing up. I didn't know. Oh, at least All in the Family has a purpose for it. I mean, yes. Yeah, that's true. Chris, that show, Jed, The Black Man is, yeah, that show. You guys remember the show, thank you. And Nana Sure, thank you for the 200 biddies. Thank you so much, whoever you are, appreciate you. Caro Donnie could have sworn I followed the other day, but no, thank you so much. No, well, thank you for re-following. No, it's a pleasure to have you here. Like I said, just doing charity stream, doing some Q&A right now from my patrons, going back and forth the chat, having some nice conversations. A pleasure, nice, easygoing New Year's Day stream, but a pleasure to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kindergarten class, thank you, Mr. Jeff Bezos. Friends. Oh, yeah, I'm sure all those. I mean, yeah, the 90s, of course. Early 2000s, definitely. Or the episode where Mr. Sanford didn't want his son to date a Puerto Rican. Oh, my God. See, I didn't even know about that. There's so many examples. I think it's hard to recommend class in the 60s and 70s. I think people would lose interest quickly. True. There's different pacing to them as well. Like comedy is changed. Comedy goes through the most changes out of anything, out of any genre. In and out. What's in vogue. So, but yeah, those are mine. Yeah, Power Rangers is definitely a big one for me that I'm like, I couldn't recommend this to anyone unless they're a Power Rangers fan. And now you have another question. Question 3. I saw No Way Home and I enjoyed it. My problem, though, is with leaks. I hate them. Imagine seeing No Way Home and you see Redacted do that thing, or Redacted and Redacted doing those other things. I would have gone crazy in the theater and would have truly been an endgame moment. What are your thoughts on leaks? Are they good? Are they bad? Do people like me just need to shut up and get the use of the way things are? No, you shouldn't shut up at all. I think leaks suck. They suck, and they're sometimes hard to avoid. And for a variety of reasons, because we use social media, we're always on social media, and things are posted to social media when they're trending, and even if you aren't looking for it, it pops up, and it's like, damn it. No, leaks do suck, Chad. They do. They're frustrating. Like, I want to be surprised in the theater, but things inevitably, or people ask me about them, or you're asked about them, it's like, but I didn't even want to know that was a thing. And it's frustrating, it's disappointing. So, you don't need to shut up. It's just part of that weird part of the culture where we need to learn more and more and more and more. We can't be surprised. I mean, because we have fun talking about these things. Of course we do. But, yeah, sometimes it just people want to dig a little too deep. And it can ruin it for a lot of people. That's why I'm very antsy about even spoilers for, like, No Way Home right now. Like, I know the movie come out. I know it's been out for about 2 weeks now. But, I know some people haven't seen it because of the pandemic. Because they don't want to go to the theater because they're worried. And, like, I want to respect that. So, it's, I always have fun talking about things or even rumors or speculation. That's fun. But, yeah, leaks. I don't like talk. I've come to the point where I'm like, I don't really like talking about leaks because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I don't want to be that guy that, is like, shit, I'm sorry. Because you feel bad. I feel bad. Now, Brian, quick recommend Class and Glass. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Guess the Jeffersons really had a stereotypical Latina maid. Oh, shit. Yeah. I didn't watch Jeffersons. There you go. Another good example. Missing things were secret. I missed that, too. I read a No Way Home plot leak months ago before the movie came out, and it basically got everything right, including the ending. Yeah. It sucks. No, I'm right there with it. I don't like them. I'm sure I was very surprised so little leaked with Endgame. Well, again, it's Sony, and Sony has a reputation for everything just getting out there. So always leaking. Endgame, I thought was pretty. They keep the lid sealed pretty well. No, I could say that no, Nickelback did not make a cameo in the movie. No Nickelback, chat. That is one spoiler I will give out. No Nickelback. They say that a hero can save us, but not in this movie. No Way Home was spoiled for me. All of it sucks. I'm sorry, Darkslayer. I'm sorry. Devin, for instance, hold up well. How did the main cast have nice apartments without working 2 or more? I know, that was bullshit. It was like, how did they afford this in fucking New York? No way. No way. No Nickelback cameo. I'm sorry. I would have put him in there. Chad. But no, the overall, no. I don't like leaks. They suck. I don't mind talking about rumors it's fun speculating, but I don't like talking about leaks because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Or I don't want to know because I want to be surprised. Question. This is question, I believe, 4. This is question 4. This may be a confusing question. I'll do my best to word it right. What movie within the MCU do you think is most influential to the franchise? For me, it's Captain America: Winter Soldier. I feel like it was the first time the MCU went into a more serious direction, tackling darker themes such as Big Brother, espionage, and PTSD. It felt like it was more than just a superhero movie. No, I agree with you. In Phase 2, we got, I think, 2 of the most influential films of that. One, The Winter Soldier was the one that started to blend in different genres It wasn't just a superhero film. It was all the things that you've said. It was a spy movie. It was an espionage movie. It was influenced by 3 Days of the Condor. All the President's Men, all that stuff. And they had Robert Redford in it, which is like, okay, I see what you're doing here. Captain America Winter Soldier, that changed. I think that really did we started to see a shift in the MCU, and a much needed one, and it made it fresh. It made it fresh again. And the other movie, which allowed, I think, the MCU to get really weird, and that's the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think we would have had something like Thor Ragnarok, or even some of the stuff that we're going to be getting soon, like in the Multiverse of Madness, without the Guardians of the Galaxy, where now we're going to go to, and all the space stuff too, where we're going to go to space. You're going to see a talking tree who only says 3 things. I am Groot. You're going to have a talking raccoon who's very feisty. You're going to have a sexy green lady. You're going to get a guy who thinks he's still in the 1980s. All right. You're going to get another person, a goddamn mountain of a man who doesn't understand sarcasm, and they're going to be a superhero team, and they're going to fight a big blue guy with a hammer and a mystical space stone. And you're going to love it, and it's going to be a great time. And so, no, Guardians of the Galaxy changed it, and they had fun. And it was the perfect, it's what we needed. That film and Winter Soldier are the ones that made Endgame possible, I think. Bringing in the serious and the weird and blending them together and seeing, like, you can have both of these things coexist and work together. You'll believe it. You'll believe it. You can have your serious spy film where we're talking about espionage and spying on individuals, but we can also have a talking raccoon hanging out of a tree. And that's what makes it so unique. So those, to me, are the 2 most influential Marvel movies so far. We've had amazing movies since then. But those, to me, are the ones that really changed the game for the MCU. What about Magic Records? They do not. They do. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Before I saw No Way Home, I got the ending spoiled, so that was... I'm sorry, Caro. I'm going to call you Caro. Apologies. Caro Donnie. I'm sorry about that. Luke the Boss, yes, Chris, we know you didn't watch Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, Good Times, etc. You love those cartoon black folk, those 8 kids. I do. I watch Proud Family. They're coming back too, Chad. Fucking trailer looks cool. I'm looking forward to the Proud Family. Civil War for you, Alec. Mystery Asman, and because of Guardians of the Galaxy, we never have gotten the Suicide Squad. True. That's a really, James Gunn had already done things beforehand, but that's what put him on the map for mainstream audiences too. Xavier, good choices. Thank you. CRS, respect to James Gunn. Fixed Suicide Squad with him. Yeah, he did. He did a great job. I wish more people saw it. You believe a galaxy. Well, Guardian. True. Devin, Captain America Winter Soldier was 3-day condor of superheroes. Guardians of the Galaxy, Ice Pirates. Nice with Cosmic Marvel. Very much. Never get out of here. No. But those are my 2, chat, like I said. And I think we were all kind of on the same page, too. Captain America Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of respect. Big props to those films. And now, chat, the last question, I believe. Yes. 5th question. What are your thoughts on marriage? I was listening to a podcast that described marriage more as a business decision, a decision out of love. At the moment, I don't want to get married, but that's a personal decision. It depends on the person. There are couples I know that aren't married, but they've been partners and they have children, and they're very happy with that, and they want maybe the economic freedom. It's weird because I think everyone else looks at marriage in a different way. I don't think anyone's wrong in how they view it. I guess for me, I look at it as a commitment to each other, a promise to take care of that person, like I said, in the vows, whether it be in sickness or in good health, and be committed to that person in various ways outside of even the relationship and of love, whether it be investments or children or future plans and working together. But that's not to say that people who don't want to get married don't do those things. They do those things. I'm not in a period in my life where I want to get married. Do I want a serious relationship? Of course I do. But yeah, but I have no negative thoughts towards marriage at all. I think at the end of the day, it's just for people that do want to get married, it shows their love and commitment, and they want to have that ceremony and to showcase that. So I think it's a beautiful thing. But like you, I'm in no rush to get married. I want to find that right person and bond with that person and have those common interests and see where the future takes us and make important decisions before we make that big step. Like, do I want to get married someday? Of course I do, but not right now. But yeah, I've always had positive, views of marriage. If anything, it's just, don't do it, don't do it too quickly. Don't do it too quickly, because getting out of it could take a long time. And make sure that you're compatible with that person. At least that's how I feel. Laughs at pending divorce. No. Casey, I agree. I almost see marriage as a personal commitment, and it shouldn't be a total business decision, but more decision if you love the person to be committed. I'm also no rush. Yeah, exactly. I only want marriage if Chris Evans is the one saying I do. There you go. That's fair. That's fair. Find the one you want to be with, chat. Find the one you want to be with. And now, how far do you think in a relationship should a person propose? I mean, it depends on the people. It depends on the people. I know people that, I don't know. It's subjective. I'm not gonna put my personal philosophies like, this is how long you should wait until you get married. This is the thing. I mean, people are different. I've known some people that was a year. I know some people it was less than that, and they're happy. 10 hours, says Naya Brown. It depends on what they're doing that 10 hours. It depends. I think if anything, it's just that you're very honest with each other. You thoroughly know each other. Because if you're not honest, if you're not honest, then that's done. That's fucked. If there is dishonesty within a relationship, if you're not being truthful, if you're hiding things from each other, then that's, for me, that's not compatible. That's eventually going to be destroyed. So that's one thing. But if you do that within however time when you feel comfortable with each other and you're committed, then sure. Whatever it is for you, whatever works best for the two people, the two partners. But honesty is paramount. Honesty is paramount, chat. 20 years. Right there, they almost got married in Vegas just for kicks. Proposed to a few random people in the show. No, I wouldn't do that. If you're waiting a decade plus, this is not going to happen. I mean, some people have been in relationships for a long time. I know people that were like dating for 8 years and they got married. So I don't know. It's different. It's different for everybody. So I'm not going to put my own like this is the set period of time. People should know when they're ready. People should know when they're ready. They should be honest with each other when they want to make that commitment. And now, chat, but a very good question, Don. It's a very good question. It's a tough question to answer, but I'm happy to answer it. And again, thank you, M. Xavier, for those questions. Liked them a lot. Hope you like your thick, girthy, well-endowed, robust answers. And now, chat, I think this is the last questions of the evening. Yeah, I think it's Thunder Lee. Yes, Thunder Lee's questions. Square Enix, more Guardians of the Galaxy. Square Enix's Guardians of the Galaxy has been fantastic to play. The combat and the story is great. What I'm most enamored with is the characters. I feel like they are way better than the MCU versions. Do you feel the same way, or do you think the MCU versions are better? Because this was asked to me. I remember a lot of people were asking me, what do I think was better? What did I prefer? The video game versions, the movie versions, and I know a lot of people were saying that they like the video game versions a lot more. And I mean, what I will say is because we've seen the Guardians. If you're not reading the comics, the only Guardians we've really seen is just the movie versions in those two movies, and then the Avengers films that we've gotten. That's what people have been used to. And when we get this new version of the Guardians out there in video game, where it's not tied to the movies, it's new, it's exciting, it's fresh, and so already you're going to be kind of enamored, like, oh, I love this new dynamic. I mean, it's definitely similar. They're definitely cherry picking certain things, but it's a very different team too. You can tell the dynamic's a little different as well. And you're not being tied down by canon, and it's establishing its own thing, so that's already fun. So you're growing with these characters as well. You're going on this grand adventure with them. But at the same time, like one of the things that I thought was really unique that I was like, oh, I would like to see this in the MCU version, is I love that they had I want to be careful in case people haven't played the game, but early on, there is a father-daughter dynamic established between Star-Lord and this girl named Nikki, this little girl. She's like 12. And I really like that. I love their chemistry. I love their back and forth. And it's like, that's cool. And this shows that this Star-Lord, despite still thinking that he's in the 80s and he's immature, like this Star-Lord definitely showed a lot of maturity and wanting to step up as a father. And I'm like, that's cool. And I would love to see that with the Chris Pratt story. That's what I thought this story maybe had over Chris Pratt, who seems maybe, stunted. Not to say that he won't be in the new movie, but I like that, and that was cool and fresh. I mean, I love what the the Guardians of the Galaxy, those characters. And one thing, I prefer the Mantis in the video game than the one in the movie. I don't think they've really used her very well except for comedic bits. But I mean, I still love what Chris Pratt brings to the role, and Zoe Saldana and Bradley Cooper and Dave Bautista. I think they're great. But no, it's fun seeing like a new version of the team. The same way where I like seeing the Spider-Man video game where we get to see that version of Peter Parker. I still love Tom Holland's version, but it's like, it's cool to see new interpretations of these characters. I don't want everything to be exactly the same way, because then it gets stagnant and it gets boring. So it's not even like I think these versions are better. It's just I'm just glad they exist, because it shows that no, we can still do new things with these characters, and we're not just like seeing the same fucking thing over and over. So it's refreshing. That's what I would say. It's more refreshing. Is it in the comics? I don't know. I don't know too much about the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. I think it might be. We had Guardians of the Galaxy, an episode of Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, which is based on the original run of Guardians of the Galaxy. They had the voice of Master Chief. Oh, yeah. People were talking about that. That's true. So they're having, but, for other people who maybe have not been reading the comics or watching the cartoons, other than the movies, probably the big cultural impact from the Guardians would be the video game. So I really like that. We spend more time with the characters in the game than you do in the movie, which helps. True. I really like the Quill and Gamora a little more than the MCU version. I prefer Cheesecake. I like Cheesecake too. Cheesecake is good. Very nice. 8 years and 30, Chris. Oh, true. Oh, but now we can move on to. We do need more Fat Thor. I think that's done. I would love more sad, funny, fat Thor, but I think that might be done. But we'll see. We never know. And then we got Thunderlee's next question. During 2021, I got into watching old horror hosts like Elvira with her Shudder special, movies, and her book that came out in October, and Joe Bob Briggs with his last dive-in show on Shudder, or drive-in show. I felt like I was missing out as a horror fan, because now I'm starting to expand into more horror films because of the horror hosts. Do you think a newer generation of horror hosts should take the place of the older hosts when they retire, or is it just a thing of the past? I wouldn't force anything. If people, not even that they should take the places of those people. Like we get a new Elvira, or we get a new Joe Bob Briggs. It's just like we just get other people do their own thing. And the people who are still as those hosts, like, if they're still passionate about it, they still like doing it, then, clearly, as we've learned, like the secret to a long life is never fucking retiring. So, yeah, I have them stay around for as much as they want to. If they're still having fun, if they're still making money, then do it. But if other people want to do their own thing, then I encourage them to do so. Not to feel like I'm going to be the next Elvira, I'm going to be the next Joe Bob Briggs. Just do what you want to do. Or if you are inspired, then take what you want. But, do your own thing if you're passionate about it. So, yeah, it's what works out for both groups, I think. But I don't know if there should be like a new version of Elvira. Because the people, that's going to be hard to do. I mean, she's iconic. She's been around for, 40 years? She's been around for a while. So it's filling the void, if you will, Chad, the brazier, if you will, of a new Elvira would be difficult. But I would encourage people to do their own thing, but be inspired by them. I think that's fine. That's fine. Whenever look, she looks great. Money helps, Chad, when you're taking care of yourself. She looks very nice. She looks very good. Good for her. Very healthy, Chad. Very healthy. Very robust. If you were to bring back one show from your childhood, what would you bring back, and what would it be? Oh my God, let me tell you, so many things. So many things. One thing I would like to see. They're never going to do it now. But we know that they had a sequel series. The Boy Meets World was Girl Meets World, which I didn't really care for. They had some good episodes. Like the best episodes were the one that focused on the original characters that brought them back. Like, Corey and Topanga and Sean and Mr. Feeney. And Eric. And I just didn't like their kids. I didn't think their kids are very interesting. I really do think that they should have just made a show called Man Meets World, where it's Corey as an adult, it's Sean as an adult, and they're dealing with the things that, everyone's adult deals with. I think that would have been really, really cool to see. They're all in their 40s now at this point. We're raising kids. We have jobs. We have 9-to-5 jobs. What's our life like? I think that would have been just for Angela. And Angela, she got done dirty. I agree. Just for Angela. Sharon and Sean should have got together. I would like to see that brought back. I think that'd be really cool. Will they do it now? Probably not. But that's how I probably would have done it. I understand what they try to do with Girl Meets World. It's just I just didn't think they wrote those characters very well. I think they gave them enough interesting things to do, which is too bad. Oh, they took the teeth out of it, you know. Like Boy Meets World. I mean, they dealt with some serious subjects. I just feel like that show did. It felt a little too Disney-fied, if you will, too sanitized. But when they did bring in the original characters more, it was more focused on them. I thought it was pretty good. That's pretty good. 90s family sitcom format doesn't work in 2020. It's dated. You're right. They're right about that. Maybe it would have helped if they changed it up a little bit. If they changed it from maybe I don't know, not like maybe like a mockumentary style. I don't know. I mean, that is definitely the dominant form that we've seen, or at least a popular version of the sitcom. It's a good point, Farron. It's a good point. Here's your life husband is Bean Dad from Twitter. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Bean Dad. Yeah, they shouldn't have done Girl Meets World. Yes, that's, yeah. Like, I think Girl Meets World could have worked. It could have worked, but it shouldn't have been done through Disney. That should have been like a Hulu show. That should have been something through Hulu. So they could have done, you know, some more mature, darker, I mean, I didn't say darker, but more mature storytelling. It was just too sanitized. There was talk of a channel switch to, so Girl Meets World could have covered heavy topic. There you go. The kids got older, but didn't pan out. Yeah, that's a shame. That's what it needed. That's what it needed. They should have done that. That should have been what it should have been right in the beginning. Damn shame. Damn shame. But I always liked Boy Meets World, chat. I grew up with that show. I think it's great. I mean, it's dated, sure, of course, but I really liked it. And then a shit ton of animated shows, chat. The Spectacular Spider-Man. We only got 2 seasons. Season 2 literally ends on a huge fucking cliffhanger. I would have loved to. I mean, it ends on a negative note. It's like, God damn, what's going to happen next? Too bad, we don't know. But would have loved to have that show. Another Greg Weisman project where he got fucked over. Where we need another Spectacular Spider-Man. We need season 3 at the very least. I would have loved more. That's the Spectacular Spider-Man is to Spider-Man what Batman the Animated Series is to Batman, chat. It was that fucking good. And I wish more people seen it, but the release schedule was so fucking weird. And the episode release were like, it was weeks in between episodes or months. And yeah, that show got fucked over. That show got fucked over. And it was airing in different countries. It wasn't airing in the United States originally. The first time when the season 2 was like in Canada, and then in the United States it came out like several months later. It was so weird. That was a huge shame. Huge shame. Rachels Dramedy like an Atlanta or Raimi or Reservoir. That'd be cool. That'd be cool for like Boy Meets World. I wouldn't mind that at all. With the Fresh Prince reboot, we'll see about that. I'm interested to see what that's. I would like to have the characters come back though, like Boy Meets World, like those actors. Really wants to go mine just for the theme. Oh, spectacular Spider-Man, so good. Boy Meets World had an episode about cults. Cults, yes it did. Yes it did. Oh my God, yeah. Was it more Sean trying to call? Was it with Sean? Spectacular Spider-Man not having a proper name is a crime against cartoon history. Yep. Same studio, It's a Laugh, has produced every Disney sitcom, starting with Sweet Life up to now. Yeah, I just didn't grow up with those. Justice for 90 Spider-Man first. Yeah, that had a really shitty ending, too. Well, I blame Avi Arad for that one. Other than that, Spectacular, I would love all the DCAU shows to come back, chat. I know that, like Batman, I want sequel seasons, the Batman animated series. I want Superman, the animated series. I've talked about this before. I want more Justice League. I want more Static Shock. You can have it where years have taken, and they continued these stories in the comics too. I know that for Batman animated series, they have Batman, the Adventure Continues, and where they're incorporating more modern Batman stuff, like within the animated style. It's like Bruce Timm on the comic, along with Paul Dini, whoever else. And they're bringing in Jason Todd. They're bringing in the Court of Owls. And I was like, that would be so cool. There is so much. There's 20 years of new Batman history you can incorporate into the animated series and the DCAU proper. And all across all the other ones, too. Superman, Static Shock. And you can even do new shows within the DC. You could do a Wonder Woman show now. And she was great in Justice League. So you can do that if you wanted to, since she's more in the pop culture zeitgeist thanks to the movies. Same thing for, Green Lantern. You can do a Green Lantern show with John Stewart. There's so many options, and I bring all that back. I know that they're doing a new Batman animated show with Bruce Timm involved, it looks like a period piece in the 30s, 40s, which is kind of cool, which, obviously the Batman animated series is heavily inspired by that aesthetic, Art Deco and the black and white televisions and things. But I really want that to come back. Desperately. I would love that. I would love that. Was my childhood chat. I mean, up until, like, God, the mid-2000s, I was watching that show. It was so good. W should hire Paul Dini and Bruce Timm to be the DCUs. Yeah, Kevin Feige. Yeah. I'm surprised they never asked them for help. They never. Oh, we got a huge. Oh, chat. Excuse me. We've had some huge donations in the last few. I get distracted, chat. I get distracted because of the DCAU. It happens. But we had a very generous donation of $50. Whoever just donated, if you want to, I know it's an anonymous gift, but if you want to give yourself a shout out, please do so. Happily give you a shout out. Thank you so much. We are only $10 away, chat. $10 away from our goal for tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Reading what you guys have to say here. Mystery Ass Man, this is what happened to Lizzie McGuire Revolve. That's right. They were going to stream on Disney Plus, original creator. Kurt got kicked from the project and it pissed Hilary Duff. She in public came out and said Disney didn't want mature stuff in Disney Plus. Yeah. So they moved the show with Hulu. Disney decided to cancel. That's a damn shame. I would have liked to have seen it. I remember watching that. Chris, you ever open to an interview episode? You should bring on the Spider-Man animated series. That's right. You talked about that. I remember that. Man, I've never done like an interview episode like that. Oh my God. I'd have to really prep for that. You should bring on the Spider-Man animated series showrunner from the 90s for an interview episode. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. I think you've messaged Corey about that in the past. But thank you. Let me know. What do you think of the new animated Batman series with Bruce Timm? I just don't know anything about it. All I know is the aesthetic. Other than that, I don't know what it is. Futurama back, but the way they ended, it's fine. Futurama has had that. We're canceled. We're back. We're canceled. We're back. We're canceled. We'll see though. They always seem to come back. Didn't have a shitty ending per se, but it just didn't have a wrap up. Which one was that for Luke the Boss? For on WC, yep. Darkness. They're doing Batman animated series. They are. Who's doing it? Bruce Timm? Oh, I'll fucking check that out. Holy shit, Bruce Timm and like Paul Dini. You can send me a link to that. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm listening to the shit out of that, chat. I don't trust W with anything DC related. That's fair. Just asking. They can't just ask them for help because the animation union. Is that what it is? Really? Oh, I didn't know. They have to take leave from the union to do it. Whoa, I didn't know that. Okay, well, thank you for that information. I want to know the adult animation in the 90s and O's back. Yeah, me too. That's some good years. Because I'd love to see more Futurama, but I'm scared they ruin it if it fully came back. Maybe some specials. Yeah, now they did do some specials back in the day, which I wasn't a big fan of personally. But maybe this time they could do it. Bill K's looking forward to the Wonder Woman game. Well, yeah, I hope it got to work. Same. That was a cool announcement during the Game Awards. We're for a full-time lead producer like Kevin Feige type role, but short of that, they wouldn't leave. Interesting. Wow, I had no idea. And no O's, Chris. No O's. Reason why they didn't approach Bruce Timm and Paul Dini for DC because they looked. That's what I always thought, but I didn't know about this explanation of the unions. That might be a thing. But yeah, they kind of they created a universe where all these shows connected to each other. Batman. I want Batman Beyond. I want Batman Beyond seasons. That ended too soon. No, I want Batman the animated series come back. I want Superman. I want Batman Beyond. I want Static Shock. I want Justice League. You could do Wonder Woman show. You could do a Green Lantern show. Hell, do a Flash. Do all this shit. I want them to do that shit. I love that era of animation. That DC animated shows were amazing. They were so influential. And so well written. I do the audio video commentaries right now for Batman the Animated Series, and I love I recently just rewatched The Laughing Fish. I did an audio video commentary for that one. And I was like, God damn, this is so good. It's timeless. And there's some dated aspects to them, sure. But overall, they're still so great. Darkseid, I want everything. Everything indeed. Batman the Animated Series audio drama. Oh, the audio. Okay, the audio drama. I knew about this. Right, so this includes return of fan favorite Kevin Conroy and John Glover as the Riddler. Oh, it's so fucking cool. So fucking cool. Hope they do more with the Riddler. That was one of my criticisms of the original animated series. They didn't really do anything with the Riddler, which I'm like surprised by because like there's so many fun stories, but looks like they're gonna do it right this time. Very nice. Thank you, Darkness. Thank you. There's Batman the Animated Series radio drama. Oh yeah, it's the one that I just got the link for. So very excited about that. Definitely gonna check that out. I was like a podcast. It was a podcast with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and them talking about just making the show. I watched that documentary last year about Batman. It was like nearly a 2-hour documentary about Batman animated series and how it came to be. It was great. It's on YouTube for free. Really cool, chat. Really recommend it. If you have not seen that documentary about the show and what spawned the DCAU in general. But the other shows, I mean, Gargoyles never got a proper third season. They had that, Greg Weisman had left, and they did that weird, fucked up, the Goliath Chronicles, whatever the hell it was called. So then they did sequels. They did sequels in the comics, of course, like true sequel seasons. But yeah, I think Gargoyles coming back, that'd be fun. Now, I'm a recent convert to Gargoyles, chat. Love it so well. Where I was like, I can't believe I didn't watch it as a kid. I was like, oh, it's right up my fucking alley. That's a big one for me. Oh, yeah, we're seeing the return of 90s X-Men, so who's to say that we won't see the return of some of these other, on the other show? Like, listen, if 90s X-Men's a success, then I wouldn't be surprised if we get the 90s Spider-Man coming back, because Disney owns that. I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Bros. Like sees the success of this, like they're like, all right, we got some shows that they do something like Batman, or a Batman revival, or Superman revival, or Justice League revival, or Batman Beyond revival. Like, I would love that. No, I know. I've read his statements on Gargoyles, which is weird. I don't know why he's like. I think because, Disney wanted a competitor to, because Batman animated series was like huge in the early 90s. It was like, this is a fucking revelation. And everyone wanted their Batman animated series. That's why cartoons got a little darker. And I guess Bruce Timm just was like, fuck that show. I've read his statements on Gargoyles. It's like, yeah, that was weird of him to say. He was super dismissive of Greg Weisman. I didn't really like that. I was like, oh, come on, man, lighten up. Whatever. Hope we see your turn. There we go. Nice. Inspired. John Semper Jr. has been vocal about wanting to finish his show too. He's also free of Avi's control. Because Avi's like that guy. He's like, hey, for the next episode, make sure to put this thing in there because we can make it a toy and we can sell it as a toy. That was Avi's fucking contribution. Oh, by the way, I'll spoil one thing from No Way Home. Again, I hate the fact that they put that they stopped the credits to thank Avi Arad without Avi's support and dedication to Spider-Man. None of this would have ever happened. I was like, give me a fucking break. Give me a break. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's like, that's a goddamn lie. None of it. Like I said, chat, Avi Arad's been an albatross on Spider-Man's neck for nearly 30 years. I don't believe it. Also, Avi also tried to nix Amanda Webb because, quote, I can't sell a fucking toy of an old woman. Well, toy, of course. Oh, my God. There's Chris Herman. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of Avi Arad. I don't really like him. I don't like him, chat. Oh, anyway. Oh, that's funny for him. I mean, I've heard murmurs of why Avi was thanked in the credit. Oh, you have? It's juicy? Can you share that, or can you message me about that? I'm not saying who. Avi Arad. If you can't say anything, because I'll whisper, okay, that's fine. Yeah, because I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble with anybody. I don't want to do that to you. Yeah, I know you. Farhan is in the industry, chat. He's a filmmaker. You can check out his work, of course. Excited for your upcoming projects, man. Wishing you, no, chat. Let's get some Mr. Evan Yates, Mr. Evan Hypes for Farhan in the chat. He's a filmmaker. Wishing you great success in 2022, good sir. I know you've talked about some of the projects you're interested in making, and hey, man, I hope that works out. The film industry is very hard. Believe me, I've never been involved in, but I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult and it can be very stressful. So all the praise to you. And JT Grimm, it's been a while, my friend. Welcome back, good sir. Happy New Year to you. Guess who's back? JT Grimm Dresden's back. Welcome, my friend. How you doing? 35 months and a 1-month streak. No, good to see you, man. We got to get on mic sometime. We got to talk. We got to talk again. It's been too long. It's been too long. There's plenty of platforms you can get on. I'm happy to have you on Discord, Discourse, and talk about stuff and everything else in between. No, good to see you, sir. I hope things have been going well for you right now. Match Everard thinking himself is, I would not be surprised. That's all I'm saying. I can't wait to see the Whisper, Fran. I'm married to see the Whisper. Mr. Yasmin, can't wait to see Avi Rod fuck up a chart, Metal Gear Solid, Borderlands. See, so many things to fuck up. So many things. Of course, man. No, of course. You deserve it. You deserve all the success. What's a middle-aged Israeli businessman do with all his money? He's got to fuck up Spider-Man. Got to make money off of that teenager. I've been so busy and got a house. What? You got a house, a PS5? You got a house? And I love that you say, and a PS5 and a Series X now. You have a house, man. Congrats, chat. I gotta get some liquor in this cup, in this mug. I gotta toast you properly. Getting a house, it's a huge step in someone's life. Yeah, good to see you. Happy New Year, too. Welcome back, Yak. I hope you're doing well, doing Class and Glass. Yeah, talking about DC, AU, talking about Avi Arad, talking about Spider-Man, people getting houses and shit. Oh, the only recent story is in the MCU because of Avi's greed and incompetence. Probably incompetence more than anything. Casey, good luck, man, with your upcoming film. I just hope you do. Yeah, of course, absolutely. 100% Casey, right behind you. Cannot wait. Thank you, Farm. I'm gonna read that in a bit. I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna read something, chat. I'm gonna read something. I'm not gonna say what it is. Yep. I can't say anything, but Farron's like, that sounds right. Ooh. Right. Yeah. Chad, I wish I could say, but I can't. That's all. But thank you, Farron. Thank you. Thank you, good sir. Oh, it said it was fart. It did not. It did not. Maybe Avi or Rod farted. But other than that, that's good. Got some juicy details, chat, but I'm sorry, but I cannot share them. But I would not be shocked if they eventually come out of it, in a year or so. You'll hear more about that. But thank you, Farron. That was very kind of you. You saw the Phil Lord tweet defending Avi or Rod? I haven't. I have not. And I don't believe it. You want to whisper to Corey? No, I'm not sharing it. I respect Farron too much to share. I don't want to share any details. It's up to Farron, but nope. The fucking truck, the ride, the train end, whatever the statement, it ends here, Chad. It ends with me. It ends with me. That's all I can say. But I imagine it'll get out there someday, so don't you worry. But thank you for sharing that with me, my friend. It's the Illuminati. Yeah, it's kind of like the Illuminati, as I can't say anything. I can't say anything to you, chat. Oh, Lord. That's true. He might smell like the smell of his own farts. Darkness? I think that's you. Shut up. No. Chad, I got to toast JT Grimm because of his recent purchase of a house. Chad, that's incredible. I'm going to go get some alcohol. Let me see how many questions do I have left. I think that might be... No, I have a couple more questions. Chad, or at least, I have two. So we're going to come back and do those questions, but I have to properly toast JT and the rest of you guys. Thank you again, Chad, for being what? And we just had another donation just came in. Thank you so much, Chad. That puts us over. We had a JT Grimm, JT Asmussen, with a $25 donation, putting us over our goal for Extra Life, Chad, for the kids. $215 raised. Thank you, man. Thank you. And everyone else who's donated too, in case you're anonymous gifters, if you want to give yourselves a shout out, I'm happy to give you a shout out and thank you. Thank you, chat. This is going to Extra Life, which is, and all the proceeds are going to children's hospitals, chat. It's going to a local children's hospital in Texas. So thank you so much. I'll be right back, chat. I gotta toast you for that generosity. Stick around. Oh, by the way, chat, we just got hit by like a winter blast, and it's now 22 degrees outside in Texas. I can't believe it. It's 22 degrees. I was looking at my thing. It's like, it's 22 degrees. And I kept my window open, like in my my living room. It's like, oh, it's been nice. It's been 70-degree days. It's fucking freezing in my living room. It's I kept it open for so long. So the temperature just fucking dropped suddenly. Yeah, it's 20. Let me see. Our original weather, chat, it was 64. It was 64 and all this, and then I guess like earlier today, and now it's 22 degrees. Wow. That's freezing cold. That is indeed freezing cold. There it is. 28.5 degrees Fahrenheit in Toronto right now. We're colder than Toronto, chat. I guess we got hit by like a winter blast or something. I'm going to check the reports. Well, first, before I do that, let me go ahead. And first of all, JT, pleasure to have you back, man. I know you've been busy, but man, congrats on all your success, owning a home, a PS5, and an Xbox Series X. Cheers and salute to you, good sir. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. You're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak. Happy to have you here. Congratulations. And thank you for your generosity. And Chad, thank you. We hit our stretch goal today. $215 raised for Extra Life for the kids. Very good, chat. Made myself a little bit of an iced Irish coffee. It's delicious, chat. Put a little rum in there. It's nice. It's nice, chat. Wow. 31 in Vegas. Wow. 22 the year hell froze over because Betty White. Oh my God. No. She was keeping us warm. 75 here, OD. Nice. Pretty good. It was like 75 earlier today. I was like, wait, is that right? It was like, did my computer temperature setting get messed up? Wow. There you go, chat. Pretty cold. I'm gonna check what the temperature is gonna be for the next couple of days then. Let me put in Buda, Texas weather. And then it's weird, chat, because Sunday, it's going to be cold. High of 48 tomorrow. Then low of 26. Then Monday in the 50. But then by Tuesday, we're in the 60s again. So that's nuts. There you go. Because you all know this fundraiser money is still is like a new Ridley Scott film. No kids are going to see it. Yes, they will. Of course they will. I ain't getting any of this. It's going directly to Extra Life, directly to the Children's Hospitals chat of Texas. But chat, thank you again for all your generosity. We're going to continue answering some questions right now. I think we still have 2 from Thunder Lee. I like these 2 last questions too. Here you go. What is one movie that you wish had a sequel? I think we all have those films, chat. The 3 that came to mind immediately. Dread 2012, chat, with the one that was produced by A.D. Shankar and starred Carl Urban as Dread. Love that movie. No one saw it at the time. I think when it eventually went to VOD and streaming that it started to get picked up. People were like, oh, this is a really good movie. But yeah, it was a box office bomb, sadly, and I think critically it did pretty well. I think it got maybe positive mixed reviews, but I think in years since it's been reappraised. People go like, oh, it's an underappreciated action classic of the early 2010s, and it is. It's a great movie, and it's always been rumored that they would do a sequel or a TV show or an animated series that's based off the first, but who knows? I would love it if they did it. I'm not expecting it, chat, but my God, what a fucking great movie. I've done an audio and video commentary for it. I got to someday do, I think maybe have I done a review for Dread? Maybe I've done a review for Dread. I can't remember. Possibly. But I have to, if I haven't, I need to. It's a great film, chat. It's so goddamn good. A couple other ones. Master and Commander, which was a period piece action drama with Russell Crowe and I believe Paul Bettany and a number of other actors. And it was kind of like, oh, well, Pirates of the Caribbean is popular, so we're going to do our own version of Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's more serious, it's more dramatic, it's, more historically accurate, if you will. And it killed at the Academy Awards. Got nominated for 10 Oscar nominations, back in 2004, 2005. It just didn't make any money. No one saw it. And it has a whole ending where it's like, all right, the adventure continues, and it never did. We never saw it. Master and Commander was supposed to be a whole series of films, and it was capitalizing off the success of Pirates at the time, which was one of the biggest franchises in the 2000s. But yeah, nothing came of it. And that was sad. I would have loved a sequel. They're never going to do one. And another one, chat, even though this movie has gotten prequels, and I guess it kind of has a sequel, but it's not the sequel that I want. And that's Monsters, Inc. We got, of course, Monster University, which I'm like, I don't need to see the college years of Mike and Sully. And I know we just got the Monsters University series, which takes place immediately after the events of the original movie. I always wanted one where it was years later and Boo is a teenager or something, or adult, and she's interacting with Sully and Mike. And how has that relationship changed? That Sully has been a part of her life as a father figure. That to me was that's ripe. That's a ripe opportunity, and I would have really liked to have seen that, but I guess I'm in the minority that thinks that's a good idea, or Pixar certainly doesn't. They seem to have avoided it. Because I love that relationship, Kitty. I love that, but we never got it. Those are some of mine too. What about you? What do you guys say? Let me scroll up a little bit. Dread to one you said that, Mr. Yasmin, right there. The Matrix, not too bad we never got it. He's like, I know, it's a goddamn shame. Those fucking those other movies, they were just errors in the code. Merely errors in the code. Well, the cool kids saw The Last Dude right after they saw Ghostbusters Afterlife and Spider-Man. No way. Yeah. That's right. Those goddamn millennials, as Ridley Scott would say. Mr. Jackson, part of the reason Dread bombed was the film bad marketing and the bad taste in the mouth. So, true, that was the only. I mean, Dread is also. You're right. It's also a character that people just don't know. I mean, the only other thing that they know about is the Stallone movie, which is not good. I mean, I kind of enjoy it, but it's like a rental. I don't hate it, but it's not good. Not a good movie. And the comics, 2000 AD, it's not well known. It's not in the pop culture zeitgeist. So yeah, there is. There's a good reason. Want a sequel to Were the Mills? I know a lot of people are big fans of that film. I never seen it myself. I could rant about Matrix. Me too, JT. I definitely one of my least favorite movies this year. It's on my worst of list. But where's the rank chat? Find out. Ace Truck says, I love Master Commander. Me too, man. Underappreciated. It's one of the most authentic films made of that period. It was great. It was great. I wish that Gen 13, the animated movie, never got a sequel reboot for modern day, since it was a great 90s comic in that day from Jim Lee and J. Scott Campbell. Do a Master Commander prequel? Yeah, I guess they can't do it now with Russell Crowe being as old as he is. District 9, well, I think District 10 is happening. I think they've talked about District 10 is now, that is Neil Blomkamp's next project, I think. They also pimping Russell Crowe really hard. Yeah, that was his decade, man. Gladiator. I mean, in the 90s, of course, too. But then in 2000 won it for, Best Actor for Gladiator and all those other big films. Just reported in July 2021, they were doing a prequel. There you go. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I still would have liked Russell Crowe and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. I think District 9's getting a sequel. Zack Snyder's Justice League for you, Thunderly. Continuation of his Justice League movies. You're in the minority, but the guy who did the first Monster Inc. does not want to tell that story. God damn it, I want it. I want it. Oh, the choice about the Odyssey. Yeah, that movie ends with them like, okay, now we're going to do the Odyssey. And they did not. Because Sean Bean plays Odysseus. He plays Odysseus in that movie. I keep forgetting about it. I was like, oh, yeah. Because the Iliad is that happens before the Odyssey. That's right. Go on. I want a sequel to Titanic where Rose is on the Hindenburg and falls in love with Brad Pitt. There you go. Yeah, GT, it has some Iron Man 3 rage-inducing moments, but if it just focus on the bugs in New Morpheus, I like it more. I thought Bugs is fine. I don't dislike the character. I know a lot of people love the character. I thought all the new things introduced, I was like, yeah, you're fine. You're good. I didn't have an issue with her. I liked her energy. A remake of Neverending Story. Ooh. I could see that. I would be open to a remake of the Neverending Story, or if it's like a spiritual sequel, like the previous movie did happen, but it's like now it's just a new story within that world. I'd be open to that. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. So keep a sequel to Rogue One. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind. That's not a bad. Well, you know what? So Kima, the thing is, if Rogue One, all those characters are dead, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like, it's a one-off. However, you can still take that concept. I think it would be kind of cool if they ever did like a spiritual successor to Rogue One. And what if you followed a group of rebels trying to escape Hoth? It's like, it's one of the biggest losses in the rebellion's history. And they're trying to get off of Hoth. And you follow these grunts, these soldiers. That's to me would be kind of an interesting story to tell. Like how they got left behind. Like, we got to get out of here. The Empire's taking it over. They got to deal with the flora and the fauna, the snow and the wampas and anything else that might be there. How do we escape? Make it a survival story on Hoth. That would be pretty cool. And it's kind of it's grounded. It's gritty, like Rogue One was. That would be pretty cool. And they did something like that, but it's a whole new set of characters. Is that something that's what I would do if I had to make what's a spiritual successor to Rogue One, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, people say it's Rogue One, the sequel to No Hope, but I mean, but I think what I understand what Psycho Kima is asking for, and I think something like that would be pretty cool. That's just me. You ever take my Star Wars buddy cop pitch? No, Farron, you did not. Happy to share it, though. Please share it. I wish they would do a Rogue Squadron film about what you think. I feel like that was going to happen with Patty Jenkins, but I guess that movie's been canceled or postponed. A couple months ago, they announced that's not happening. I want a rom-com with the Rancor and the Rancor. You can read the short story, man. Read Tales from Jabba's Palace. It's the first story with Rancor Keeper Maliki. Talk about that, his love for that creature. I know the story. I know that story. Or they could do the story of how they got the plans to the second Death Star. You could talk about the Bothans. Many Bothans died. Mom Mothma's fucking weird in that movie. She's all kind of spacey. Many Bothans died to provide us with these plans. I don't know about that. I would prefer if they literally just like it's another really grounded, gritty war movie. And it's like, it's on Hoth, and these guys are like, we got fucking left behind. How the hell are we going to get out of here? And they got to deal with they have to deal with the wildlife. They got to deal with the natural elements of the snow. They have to deal with the Empire. That would be really cool to me. I think that'd be a neat idea. Yeah. Yeah. Which is out as a Palpatine now, of course. Wedge is somehow a Palpatine. Oh. I just want my Netflix Daredevil MCU movie now, damn it. I think we'll get more Daredevil MCU stuff. I think that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. How many movies that involve Palpatine's getting canned now? I don't know. I think that's the most recent one. Star Wars Rogue Bothans. Well, Luke, wow, race course, you don't want to see Bothans shine? I'm good. I think it's more of a, I just don't, okay, I know the Bothans got the Death Star plans for the Death Star 2, but I don't need to see their story. It's like, that's enough. We got the first one. Because it was like, again, we're just going to follow these guys who also still the Death Star plans. I think it's a good idea. Like, no, to do something that is not a direct sequel to Rogue One, but more of like, hey, this is similar to Rogue One, where we're following these grunts. These guys who are like, we are literally in snow trenches fighting giant walking automatons coming down as bear downs and shooting laser beams. What are we doing? And we'll follow them, and they get left behind on Hoth, and it's like, fuck, what are we going to do? And they slowly get picked off, and they die trying to escape. I think that would be cool. I think that's a story. That's just me. Rogue Squadron wasn't officially canceled. It's on hold. Jenkins dropped out. Cleopatra working on. So she's working on Wonder Woman now. Okay. Star Wars High Republic story that follows Shamik Moore as by the books Padawan. So by the books, in fact, he annoys. Shamik Moore is also the voice of Miles in the Spider-Man movies. So by the books, the fact that he annoys the fuck out of the council, so they pair him with a washed-up, drunken Master Jedi played by Jackie Chan, doing the Jedi equivalent of traffic duty. She love, of course, the drunken master is a drunk pessimist, contrasting the dorky optimism of the Padawan. The two of them end up accidentally unraveling a conspiracy involving gangsters and crimes. So Rush Hours. So you're doing Star Wars Rush Hour. I mean, I love it. I'm all for it. I want a proper right. Can Chris Tucker also play an alien? Can he also play an alien? No, I like it, man. I like it. Let's fucking do it. Let's get the Star Wars buddy cop movie. A drunken Jedi Master and an uptight Padawan. I'll take it. I wouldn't mind that. Can we make it rated R? Chris Tucker as a bounty hunter. Oh, I'll do that. They go for intel. Hey, man. I got you what you need. I don't know you need. I'm all for that. Does he scream? Does he do the Chris Tucker scream at one point? Chris, if they picked for on today, they'll have Kevin Hart, Jackie Chan. Oh, yeah. Shamik more, though. That'd be cool. I want to see more stuff. Chris Tucker's an alien. Have you seen it? He's got some big eyes. He's got some big old peepers. True. But yeah, Chad, in terms of sequels that I want, I mean, I want a Rogue One sequel, but a spiritual successor to Rogue One. I think it'd be fun. But yeah, Dread. I want a sequel to Dread. I want to, some of these I'll never get. None of these I'll get. Dread 2012, Master and Commander, Monsters Inc. Oh, you picked some good ones, Chad. I like it. I like it a lot. And now, the last question, Chad. This is a horror franchise I'm a fan of. And this is, again, Thunderly. What went wrong with the Hellraiser franchise, and how do you think they can rejuvenate it? I mean, what went wrong is they just made bad sequels, bad movies. Hellraiser 1 and 2 felt very like complete stories. They tied into each other very well. I mean, if you literally don't watch the last 5 seconds of Hellraiser or Hellbound Hellraiser 2, then it's like, oh, it's done. The story's over. And I love that about that movie. I really like Hellbound. I like Hellraiser 2 a lot. But yeah, it's a common thing where bad sequels, we don't know what to do. Put him in space. Let's do a prequel. Let's do where he comes back, but now he's on the internet. It's like, it's just bad ideas. Chasing trends. That's what happens with a lot of these horror franchises. And you lose the original creator. I mean, Clive Barker wasn't involved in any of those other sequels. He's like, fuck those movies. I know they're doing a reboot of some sort. They're doing a HBO series, which I'm interested in, which I know he's involved in too. Which I don't think it's going to be tied to the movies now, from what I've been reading. So I'm not sure. Although they clearly seem to be inspired by the comics to a degree, because it's going to be a female Pinhead, and the comics, which acts as a sequel to Hellbound, where Kirsty becomes the new Pinhead, which I'm like, I wonder if that's tied into anything, but we'll see. I mean, if I did it, I would do the Candyman approach. I mean, I don't like the new Candyman movie that came out. Believe me, I was so excited for that film. I was like, yeah, direct sequel, can't wait. The trailers look great, loving the aesthetic, and the movie came out. I was like, wow, I don't like this. I don't like the characters. I think that I thought, the messaging, I don't have any problem with any of the messages in the movie. I don't think they spent enough time on any of the messages. It's almost like it was a spark note. It's like, all right, we're going to cover this. All right, we're done. Going to cover this next thing. Okay, we're done. It's like, no. Let's spend some time talking about gentrification over policing. It's almost like Nia DaCosta spread herself so thin with that movie. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I would like the similar approach where we have a direct sequel to those first movies where that happened. Pinhead is dead. And you explore more realms with the Lambent configuration. The thing is, people forget. I think it's also what the series forgot, because people just didn't care. They think Hellraiser is all about Pinhead and his crew, the Hell Priest and his crew. It's not. The Lambent configuration is a key. It's a key to different worlds, different dimensions. Not just, we just explored one dimension. That's the Hell dimension. It's like, let's go to different worlds. So I would have had, if I had my choice, if I had control, it would be like those two movies happened. I mean, I would even love to bring back some of the original actors that played Kirsty Cotton and stuff and reference those films, but then the Hell Dimension's gone. It's destroyed. It's destroyed. But now that these boxes are still around, they're still keys, and you're opening up new realms and new doors and new universes, and you get to fight new threats, experience new threats. That, to me, would be really fun. That's how I would do it. And you can go crazy what you want to bring in there. But you could still pay respect and homage to those original movies, but we've moved on from Pinhead. I know that's probably not a popular choice because, the Cenobites define when you think of Hellraiser, you think of them. You think of the Cenobites. And so I get that. So my idea probably wouldn't be popular, but mine would be focused more on what else can we see within this world with this box. That's what I would do. That's what I would prefer. I would have, if I had my way, I would have done a Clive Barker universe. If I directed if I had control, or like I wrote that Candyman sequel, because I think there's things they could have. I feel if they had focused on more, just hey, we're going to talk about gentrification, because remember Bernard Rose, he focused on the economic disparity between rich whites and poor blacks, and the effect of generational trauma on a community. Those are the two things he tackled in that movie. And I thought he tackled them very well. He focused on both of those equally, and it played out great. Where Nia DaCosta, I felt like it was like a scatter shot. She was touching on everything, and it was not enough for each thing. Where I would have preferred if she had because I thought we're going to talk about gentrification over policing. It's like, oh, perfect. So timely. But she talked about those things, but then she talked about 5 or 6 other things at the same time, and it wasn't enough. I think it would have been cool if they had focused on gentrification and over policing. I think that would have been great. And the other thing, this is fan servicey for me, but we know that the character of Anthony is the baby from the original movie, and he's an artist. And I thought that's fine. I just hated those characters because they were so thinly written, and they were so fake feeling to me, which I guess that's also a critique in the art world, but I just didn't like anyone. I was like, fuck these people. But I thought it would have been really fucking cool if I was that cheeky director going, yeah, that's what that is. Like one of the art exhibits is someone presenting the box, the laminate configuration, and it's there. It's in the background. I'm not calling attention to it, but it's there. Or you have a character looking at this and they talk about this is my presentation, and it's the laminate configuration. Holy fucking shit. That would have been amazing. I would have had that. I definitely would have fucking had that in the movie. But I don't control the Clive Barker property. I'm not the director of Candyman or the writer of Candyman or the Hellraiser films. But I would like to make a Clive Barker universe. Witness me, Manny Manospheres. Thank you for the raid. Everybody on the dance floor. Raid, thank you, Vanny Chat. Please do check out Manosphere streams. Give that man some support. Follow, subscribe, donate to him. Thank you, Vanny. Thank you. And thank you again, guys, for all the generosity tonight. Raise, we're above our goal. We're above our extra life goal. Thank you again. I did a quick Final Fantasy 14 crafting stream. And craft them potions. Make them foods. Indeed. I know I just got lost in my mind about Clive Barker stuff, so I'm going to read some of your comments right now, chat. I'm sorry. Oh, let me see. What we see. Hellraiser 4 is the final film made with any Barker. That's right. It's the one in space. You turn away with everything after 4. 2 other projects, a reboot film with transgender actress, an HBO film, the team behind Krampus, and... Oh, really? It was transgender... I know about that one. An HBO film with the team behind Krampus and Halloween. Ooh. So they got 2 different things. I wonder if they're related to each other. Aren't they going to tie in? Interesting. Mr. Yasmin, Chris, is Mortal Kombat 2021 your worst film of the year list? My worst? No. Is it on my list? Maybe. Hellraiser 3 was the nail in the coffin of the series. Pinhead, yeah, I agree. Nail in the coffin, I get it. Pinhead does not need to be a more biblical mustache. Yeah, I hated that. Make it more Lovecraftian. Agreed. And I like that the Cenobites were like, yeah, we don't really fucking care. You know, we're demons to some, angels to others. We have such sights to show you. They kind of skirt though, like in the original movie, they're like, all right, we're gonna fucking take you to our realm now. Like they're suddenly villains, but I liked how ambivalent they were, and you could really talk, you could negotiate with Pinhead and his Cenobites, and and I liked that they remembered themselves like what they originally were. I was like, this is really fucking cool, and he's like, no, don't hurt this girl. I like that. That was awesome seeing that in the sequel. I like that they're just kind of like, listen, this is what we do. You know, we can negotiate, we can talk. That's my one criticism of the first Hellraiser, that's suddenly ill. It was like, all right, you got to have the monster attack the girl. It's like, why? That's not what they previously established, is that they can be reasoned with, and then she made a deal. It should have been like, all right, thanks, we're going to get out of here. That should have been the end of the movie. And not the whole ending thing where it's like, we're going to kill you now, Kirsty. It's like, no. Which is weird to me. But I like that. Yeah, when they then made them like straight up like, no, we're bad guys. It's like, fuck off. Yeah, that's what 3 does, and it really bothers me a lot. Right there with you. Thunderlead, they tried so hard to have Pinhead fight over slashes and went, and that's true. Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger. There was a Pinhead Michael Myers movie. There was at the end of Freddy vs. Jason, he was going to show up and stuff. Yeah. Pinhead meets Ride Rex. Oh boy. Nightbreed, another one of those worlds. Yeah. The penis monster. Could totally reboot Clive Barker's Nightbreed now. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We need less bougie culture in Camping 2021. It wasn't even that. It was just, I just didn't like, I thought those characters were so thin. There's nothing to them that was interesting. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I like some characters. I like mostly what they did with Coleman Domingo. He brought a lot of personality to it, but, just wasn't a fan. Believe me, Chad, I was excited for the movie. You know, I'm a big fan of the original film. That was like one of my most anticipated movies of 2021. I was disappointed. I'm sorry. And thank you. I think we just had Ray Death for the 24 biddies. Take all the few little biddies I have left. No, thank you for that. No, it doesn't matter if it's 100 biddies or 1 biddy. I appreciate the generosity, Ray. Thank you so much. A pleasure to have you here. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Talking Hellraiser, chat. Talking Hellraiser. Casey also having the egg crystal from Ride Rex. That'd be kind of fun. Candyman. I'm fine, shit. And then just fucking hook comes out my asshole. No, thank you. HBO series written by Michael Dougherty. Oh, fucking cool. And I love Michael Dougherty. It'll be directed by David Gordon Green. Apparently it'll be set. Oh, it is. It'll be set in the original film series. Fucking awesome. Oh, thank God. I wonder what movies they're acknowledging as canon. That's interesting. Good. I'm excited for that, then. I'm excited. They got that talent involved, and it's set in the original universe. So they are doing like an adaptation of the comic, then. Because Kirsty becomes she becomes Pinhead. She becomes the new Pinhead, new like lieutenant in the Hell dimensions. Okay. I was going wrong. Oh, hail the priest of hell, master of sin, covered in needles and pins, and the puzzle is in pieces again. Ooh. Then I remember there was a music video of a song Hellraiser, and the lead singer of the band, Motorhead Lemmy, played Chessman. Oh, that's funny. Thank you again, Ray. Appreciate that. Darkness Juice, did you read the Scarlet Gospel, the sequel to... No, I didn't. I didn't read the sequel. Hellraiser reboot film is being made by the writers, the director of Night House, David S. Goyer is producer on that film. Interesting. You want to say it like Terrence Howard did, Candyman, 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 Candyman. I want to say it like Coleman Domingo does in that movie. Anyone ever tell you about CANDYMAN? No. Sir Seaborn, this is the last question. This is actually the last question, Sir Seaborn, that we did. It was the Hellraiser question. Hellraiser 3 is what happened when Pinhead wanted to try out his stand-up routine after he saw what. Yeah, he's like doing fucking puns and jokes. It's like, oh my god. And he was influenced by the other stuff that was coming out around that time. We cast Terrence Howard in the sequel, of course. Jason, another 10 minutes. Faron, thank you so much to it. No, I know you're on the East Coast, man. Faron, seriously, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for contributing to the Extra Life charity. Really do appreciate that, good sir. And thank you for sending me some of that information. I appreciate that. I was like, confirm some things. I like that, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your Star Wars idea. I like it, man. Oh, Faron, thank you for the 5 gifted subs of incredible support. There goes Mr. Grimm. If they gave a prize, the winner would be him. Thank you, Faron. Have a great night, good sir. And good luck to you, all of your future endeavors in 2022. Cheers to you. Thank you.
There goes Mr. Grimm. If they gave a prize for being mean.
Sir Seaburn Day, well, at least I made it in time to wish you a good night and happy new year. No, thank you, Sir Seaburn. Appreciate that. Pleasure to have you stop by. I'll be back. Well, I'll probably be on the Sunday service tomorrow. So we'll have some fun shenanigans. I think I know what the topics are going to be tomorrow, chat. I don't want to say it too early, but you guys are correct. You guys are correct that we are going to be doing, it looks like, a review for Licorice Pizza. And I think, chat, we are going to be doing our worst of lists. I think our worst of list is tomorrow as well. This is for the Sunday service. So you're going to hear what our worst movies are, chat. Stop seeing like that. It's scary. Okay, crazy idea. How's a game in the vein of Outlast? Ooh, where you explore the worlds of that sounds fucking cool. I want that. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Oh, the pizza bar? Oh, Licorice Pizza. It's a new movie that came out. I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson's latest film. So I think Corey and Martin are going to review it because they've seen it. Hope that there be carnage brought tomorrow. You shall see. You shall see. Ooh, you guys do a tribute to Betty White? I don't know. I imagine we'll talk about her. I imagine we'll be brought up at least. So we'll see. But I think for right now, chat, Licorice Pizza review tomorrow, and I guess our worst of list. I got to send my worst of list because I've been doing the show. So I haven't had time. To send it over to them. But I will, certainly. But yeah, that's the last question. So thank you, Thunder Lee, for that. But rejuvenate it looks like it's being rejuvenated. I'm excited for those projects. I think the great one that makes me happy is that they're sending in the Hellraiser universe already. Like, I guess some of the previous films happened. Hopefully, it's just the first 2. If it's the first 2, then I'm like, oh, I'm good. You know, because I think the first film is, or excuse me, the sequel, I think is underrated. I think it's great. Future Pro material was a bit misleading. I didn't initially realize how creepy. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Because okay, there's a thing in that movie where they are not saying that you don't know until you actually see the film what's going on. And I'm like, that's weird. That's pretty weird. So I want to hear what Corey and Martin have to say about it. Their opinions. I know Martin, it didn't sit well with him from what he said, but we'll see. Chasing the 10 days when you guys do your best list. Maybe next week, I guess, if we're doing worst of first. Usually we do best of first and then worst of next, but I think because we're playing catch up this year, chat, because the pandemic and the release schedule of things, and we haven't seen as many movies. I know that Corey and Martin have said they haven't seen as many movies as they did last year even, so. I imagine it'll be sometime in January. Maybe next week or the week after, most likely. But, yeah, chat. It's Netflix excuse for multi-universe. Oh, boy. Oh, man. JT Journal should be the worst MC movie of 2021. I haven't seen it. I really have much interest. I already know one of you going to say Halloween Kills. Worst stuff? Halloween Kills is not my worst stuff. That's not my worst stuff list. No. I like Halloween Kills. I don't think it's nearly as good as 2018. I don't hate that movie. I think it's flawed. I think it makes a couple of mistakes, but I still enjoyed it. But no, that's not my worst of list. No, you guys will learn what it is. Some of you can probably guess a number of them already, but in which order, chat? In which order? And there might be a couple surprises too. Yeah, it was unfocused. That's the problem with the movie. It's just, I don't know. It almost felt like I'm very interested in Halloween Ends, which is coming out this year. We're gonna get Halloween Ends. It's just kind of that weird in between sequel. It's like you're kind of just spinning your wheels. I don't hate it. It's fun. I think it's well acted. There's some stuff that's like, I don't really know if I need this. But we'll see. We'll see. I want to see how it all where it all, how it all figures into each other. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot, man. I still love the 2018 film. That's my favorite in the Halloween franchise, so I want to give it a shot. The Snyder Cut, Snyder Cut's not on my worst of list. I mean, I gave it a low matinee. I liked it. It's better than the original movie. I have a lot of issues with it, but no, it's better. It's not my worst of. I never feel the need to watch it again, but no. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything, Chad. I want to play my hand. Oh, Lordy. I can't wait to explain on one of the Discord why I like Halloween. No, please. I don't mind. I think it might be fun to do. I'm taking a lot of feedback when it comes to Discord discourse. I want you guys to ask. I want you guys to say what you want to see in the future. I want people that participate what you want to eventually talk about. I think, hey, cool little retrospective on the Halloween franchise might be interesting. I think it'd be fun talking about the various films and then people share their opinions on them. That'd be cool. You never know. All sorts of things, chat. All sorts of things. But with that, chat, I am probably going to call it here. In case the Akkads need to understand that no one is going to watch another Halloween movie unless they go better route of going the anthology. I agree with you, man. With the series like Season of the Witch, yeah, because they say that even after this last one, they're still going to do more movies. It's like, fuck, man. I mean, god damn it. I love 2018. Great. Halloween Kills. I liked it. Didn't love it. I'm still interested in Ends, but I agree. They need to go. They make an anthology, which is what John Carpenter originally wanted to do. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, chap. Slasherverse could do a Slasherverse thing. Get all those, get Jason and all them in there. They want to do something like that. We'll see. We'll see. But this was a chat. Seriously, this was a great stream. Thank you again for all of your generosity, both in general, but also for the Extra Life. We are over $15 overall goal, chat. Thank you so much. I hope you had fun with Class in a Glass Cast tonight.